Hi, everyone, and welcome to Sci-Fi-Vision for January 4th. It's a new year. Yay. I'm just posting our link here on Discord. We're starting. Join us. I put join us there. Join us now. I can't type while I'm talking. But welcome, everybody. Thank you if you came to our final show. We're going to talk about the finale tonight. I know I had mentioned in the description that maybe we'd do some trivia if we had time, but I have not had time to get anything together for that, so that's not going to happen tonight. We can always do it another night if we decide to. But hopefully Karen will be along in a few minutes and Scarlet will be along in a few minutes.
Oh, she won't. It's only halftime. Karen will be along maybe.
Oh,
eventually.
okay.
She's at the
I didn't
bar.
realize she was coming for that long.
She's at the,
okay.
Well, she's at the bar with people, and it's halftime right now. So started at 8. Yeah, she's going to be at least an hour.
All right, that's fine. Well, then in that case, I will move Karen, or Scarlet, I mean, up here, move Karen down there. And then
Scarlet's not here yet either.
No, but she'll be here in a second. This is why I gotta update so I can figure out how to do this without being on camera doing it. So, but for right now, people can see me being weird. Okay, they're lined up now. All good. So, well, what did you think of the finale? You were the one that was kind of annoyed with it by this point.
I was annoyed with the whole season. I mean, the finale was, it was good. I mean, I was glad for a lot of things, but I was also like, I felt like 2 hours and 8 minutes, and I think an hour and a half of it was just monologues. The action scene when they were fighting the Mind Flayer was pretty cool. But I don't know. I felt like it was all rushed. It was like, I feel like the Mind Flayer should have been brought back into the picture sooner. I feel like there should have been more to it. It's a lot of monologues, a lot of wrapping up and just people having 10-minute monologues with each other. I felt like it was just the way the pacing, I guess you could say, was really, I felt really poor. I also feel like this whole season, it lost that 80s grime to it, like the first couple seasons, it felt like you were in the 80s. And yeah, granted, by the time we get to the end of it, it's 1989. But even still, I mean, the 90s started the grunge movement. So I feel like the season 5 felt like 2025.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? It didn't have that gritty undertone to it that the show started with. Yeah.
I don't know why I did it that way. I'm going to have to delete hers for now. All right. We'll have to add Karen when she gets back and I'll update it. Yeah, I agree. I think that, look, I don't know that I loved the ending, but more than that, as I've been saying, I was more annoyed by the 40 minutes of crap we got before the ending. Because, like, I get they wanted to give everybody a good ending, at least the rest of the characters, but I think that a lot of it was unnecessary and filler. I didn't dislike the season as much as you did, but a lot of the writing was weak. And I agree. I hadn't really thought about it, but you're right. It did kind of lose that 80s feeling that we got the first.
Yeah, Muncher agrees with me.
Yeah, that's fair. What do you think, Scarlet?
I found out something about myself. I found out that I'm a Stranger Things enjoyer and not a Stranger Things fan. I enjoy Stranger Things. I like the good and the bad. I like the frustration fans have. I like the first shadow and the frustration people have with that. I like the whole culture around it, and I enjoyed that very much. But I don't know if I'm a fan.
Yeah, I think that the other seasons went a lot better. There were certain things that were good. I just think that some of it went off a little bit.
Yeah, Fletcher's point here too was something I thought about too, that they went to school with Henry.
Yeah,
and nobody ever acknowledges that.
That was, they actually answered that in an interview, and Scarlett and I were discussing this earlier, and they answered too many things after the fact, but they said that they didn't want to put that in because they thought people who didn't see the play would be confused. I totally disagree, because I don't think you had to see the play to know that. Like, that wasn't, they could have done one line of dialogue.
Well, I mean, I disagree too, because when Max is in his memory, they're all, she even gives a little monologue when she's with when she's with Elle and what's her face there.
And yeah,
She
Callie.
says she's like she's like she's like Mr. Wheeler is trying to put the moves on Mrs. Wheeler over here, and Popper's getting stoned over here, and Joyce is in the hallway. It's like, I mean, hell, Henry's standing next to Joyce in the hallway. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying that's what the writers said in an interview, was essentially what they said. I mean, you can read the interview.
that didn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I
agree. It feels really weird. It feels like if you watch the play, then now you have all these plot holes. If you didn't watch the play, then you're just confused, especially with the scene where the people are dancing in robes and skulls, and you're like, is this Oklahoma? Because this is the only thing I got if I just watch a show.
Yeah, they didn't mention about the play change. But look, I know that I had finally watched the play, although as I could not, as you know, I know Scarlet when I was there, I couldn't turn it up a lot and I couldn't hear a lot of it. So I know I missed big chunks of the play, but I got the gist of the play.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best quality,
No, it's not. But it was great
material.
to see it. I appreciate we got to see it. But look, I feel like, yes, I got some more insight. And yes, it made me sort of know ahead of time before the finale what was going on with Henry a little bit. But I don't feel it was necessary at all. Now that sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, it kind of set up, if you watch the play, it kind of sets up that Henry might have a redemption arc. So when Will's talking to him and all of a sudden he's like, no, I'm real evil, then it's like, well, crap, what was that all about?
Yeah.
I gotta say, I
thought Patty was gonna show up at the end, like from the heavens and save him, Yeah.
I was so glad that Henry was like, no, I chose this. I didn't want to fight it. I wanted, I am so glad, because if you give Henry a redemption arc at the end, it makes it ruins everything.
But in the play, it's all about him fighting.
In the play, if you watch the play, I would say I could understand them giving him a redemption arc, because the whole play was about how he didn't want to be like that. But if you didn't see the play, I agree with you. Why would you give him a redemption arc? But I also agree with you in the sense that we've watched 5 years of them fighting. Well, 4 years, whatever. He wasn't in the beginning. But how many seasons of them fighting Henry, and for them to just be like, oh, you didn't want to do it. Like, that would be kind of dumb. So
that would piss me off. I mean, I appreciated the fact they brought the Mind Flayer back. I've been saying this whole season, where's the Mind Flayer? Why haven't we seen the Mind Flayer? So I'm glad that they finally did bring the Mind Flayer back into it. I just felt like it should have been done sooner.
Yeah,
I feel that they easily did. I'm sorry. I have a lot of
Sorry, I'm talking over you two. Go ahead.
No, I was laughing at what Fletcher just wrote. Will's coming out scene was longer than Vecna's final battle.
Yeah. Well, see, the whole thing is I didn't know that was the Mind Flayer. I thought it was this Vecna's final boss form, because I thought that the Mind Flayer was some Cthulhian, Lovecraftian thing that they could only put back to sleep or put back into space, because you couldn't kill it. Because it was that evil and that immense. I didn't know you could kill it in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
With the power of friendship.
No. Yeah.
And a flamethrower.
Assumed it was supposed to be the Mind Flayer because of the way it was shaped, but it was different and they didn't explain why. So
it's the first time we've seen the Mind Flayer
in the flesh,
not in the upside down. Anytime we've seen the Mind Flayer any other time, it's been in the upside down, so it's always been very dark and gritty. This is the first time we actually saw the whole thing of the Mind Flayer, which is just basically a big spider.
Yeah, basically.
I have a map now, so I know where all the places are.
Yeah.
There was confusion where the Rightside Up and all that place was, and now I have a graphic that tells me.
That's you know what that I was
off a cliff. I agree. Let's see. Fletcher.
I was just gonna say, I was gonna say.
Cutting BS.
No, you can't blame the act. It's the writing.
Yeah, it's definitely the writing.
No, I was going to Fletcher's other comment here. I didn't even think about the particles leaving all the kids.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, Fletcher. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, I mean, look, they're having a spinoff. What I was trying to understand is
through the spinoff, I have no interest.
Spin-offs. I think they're spin-offs.
That was what I was going to say, because when I was looking for pictures for to make the YouTube video, there was a press release about another spinoff thing, but it had been deleted. So I don't know if they had planned something and weren't doing it or what that was about because I couldn't access it to find out because I looked. But yeah. Let's see. B says it makes no sense that they went to school with Henry since he was too young to be in high school anyway. Yes, I agree. He's a lot younger than them. But then again, the whole Holly thing, that's least of
then again, the actor that plays Henry is 37 and we own a writer is 54 and they probably never be in high school together on any plane.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Henry was a genius and got into school early.
Yeah, no, I agree.
What year was Henry born? Do we remember that off the top of our head? Or at the very least,
not.
Do we remember what year it was when we saw him murder his family?
Oh, sorry.
12 and 59?
Yeah, so you can count back from that. But there was a graphic of a news story that had him at 15 and his sister at 12, and they think they switched that up and messed that up. And then the showrunners just said, "Oh well."
Yeah, there's
like there was some design error or some continuity error, but they just went with it. And I'm thinking, why didn't they just change them back to 15 and 12? It makes so much sense because Alice looks younger.
Yeah, I don't know. I've given up trying to understand their ages that they've done with stuff.
Yeah, but the actors they had in the one scene where he kills his mom, it's like the actor is 15 and then his sister's 12. So
you know what's really you know what else cut through me at the end, at the very end, was I started to wonder if they like de-aged the kids some until the end, because it wasn't until like, you know, a year and a half later when we get the, you know, everybody's wrap up and everything, I felt everybody looked older than they had all season. So I was like, did they really de-age these kids a couple of years just to make it look a little different? Or was it just more
too? But it's probably was more they were using makeup to make them look younger, maybe. And
that's what I think Artie had said that he thinks that they had used makeup.
Yeah, and gave them really old haircuts, like older person haircuts.
Yeah, that too. They did do that.
Nancy.
Look younger. Speaking of, Nicole says Robin looked good with long hair in the outfit she wore to the kids' graduation.
I'll tell you what, Robin was the highlight for this entire season for me. I absolutely loved Robin. Robin was the bright spot throughout this whole thing for me. Especially the first episode with Rockin' Robin. She was so much. I loved her Rockin' Robin.
She's got a lot of energy. Yeah. All right. I'm trying to see. I think most of. I don't know. Do you want to go through the comments from the end of the episode, or do you want to wait till we get there?
I don't care how we do it. I'm only staying for like an hour.
Okay. Well, then we'll go through. We'll go through the comments.
I was just happy Karen wasn't here so I could talk about the first shadow, because I know she doesn't really want to.
Well, you know, it was actually funny because when Karen, I texted our group chat and I told the girls that I was going to be here for about an hour tonight, and Karen said, "Oh, good, because I'm going to be at the bar watching the Ravens Steelers game," and I was like, "Oh shit, that's at night. Maybe I won't show up either."
Yeah, and I'm like, "Don't do that. That's not cool." No, but besides,
but I'm sitting here. I'm watching it at home. So Karen's at the bar, so there's a difference.
But so we might as well. Anyway, my point was we might as well then go through some of the comments here that are for later.
Yeah.
Who's going to explain this to me? Mind Flayer likes it cold, right? That was a plot of the show. So how the fuck do you want me to react when I see this planet looks like a literal desert? That is funny. I hadn't even thought of that. But
maybe it's just cold in the desert.
Maybe
it's cold in winter in the desert.
And what is with them calling it another planet? It's not another planet. It's another universe, right? I mean, it's still supposed to be like connect. Oh, that's right, because they used the wormhole. Okay, well at the beginning,
wormholes connect to another planet.
I said that. That was a stupid thing to say.
I love the geek. I love the geek moment when they're explaining it, and they're all like D&D, including the teacher.
So they understand it.
Maybe the whole thing was just a D&D campaign written by Mike.
I have issues with that too.
If you watch the credits.
Yeah, well,
his mom
the writer
doesn't have
says
scars
it isn't, but it is what it is. They keep answering things. Demogorgons weren't there because Vecna wasn't really expecting him to attack him. We're supposed to forget or erase from our memory that Vector was really using Will as a spy. There are a lot of plot holes with the end. I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of plot holes with the end. And then that's about, okay, let's see. B says, I thought it was Vecna making a physical manifestation for the mind flayer, but really it's just particles. So that's why they needed the kids. I think that's true. The particles survive. Oh, okay, that was what we were saying. Yeah. And Fletcher says if people think Elle survived, he chooses to believe the mind flayer survived.
I also choose to believe if 11 survived, Callie also survived.
Yeah.
Because 11 had to revive Callie, and then they're like, let's get out of here. That was a big mistake.
Well, you know, I mean, that was a problem too. Like,
yeah.
I like, you know, it's funny because actually during that scene when Elle is in there, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why is she not doubled over in pain? Because, you know, with the fucking speakers on, whatever you want to fucking call them. I was kind of wondering that myself. I was like, it wasn't making sense to me. So with Mike's little explanation at the end there, I was like, okay, I can be down with that, except for the fact Callie was fucking dead.
Yeah, she
didn't.
And I guess
it wasn't. And it's not like it. It's not like that scene. It's not like that scene with Callie where they show her dead and then it happened a couple minutes later. We're talking half an hour later, at least. Like they fought
really close. They climbed up the other wound to the body.
Yeah, she was dead. Like she died in Elle's arms. So
yeah,
you know, Mike. You know, if everybody wants to believe that, fine. You know, if it helps them and everything. But it was just the whole way it was poorly done. Like I could totally be down with it if Callie's death scene wasn't so permanent, and then they're like, oh look, she crawled over and leaned against the wall and it made an illusion.
Yeah, and I heard people say she made it an illusion. She was shot. Yes, but I don't see what
that's just speculation on people.
Well, yes, it's definitely people's
there's
theories.
No point in her making it look like
she was 11 was touching her body and stopping the blood. It wasn't an illusion.
Yeah.
She was corporeal.
I could see that maybe she could have ran in and hid, but like the fact that she was seen standing there kind of screws it up to me. Like there's no way she could have faked that, because I don't believe Callie could have been alive. I can understand leaving it an open-ended if you want to, but I also kind of feel like if you're going to leave it open-ended so people can make their own choice, then don't turn around after the show and give interviews saying what really happened.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's funny. Artie had an argument that he was making. He was like, he goes, how is Hopper the sheriff again? How many soldiers did he kill? You know, like it was like federal government level shit, and they killed them. And so he was just like, "Ooh, I'm sheriff again," even though I like killed like 30 soldiers.
Well, he was also in Russia for a time.
Yeah.
Which I granted is a good point, but it was like I don't think the government's going to say anything because they shouldn't have been there doing that in the first place. And granted, this is based on, you know, like it was inspired, not based on, but you know, Stranger Things. This whole government part of it was inspired by the stuff that happened in Montauk with the kids and everything in the government. So I get it, but it still doesn't make it where people are gonna be like, oh, okay.
And that's where Hopper's headed off. I'm surprised that isn't a spinoff.
Well, that's why they that was a little shout out to Montauk was actually the original name of the show.
Yeah.
Or at least it was the working title when they were writing it.
Yeah. B says someone said that it takes a long time to bleed out from a gunshot, but I really thought she had died. So yeah, it wouldn't make sense that they just left her there either. That's my other problem with it. Like if they make this plan, that's all contingent on her not dying within the next hour or whatever, as she stays there bleeding to death, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There's definite holes back.
Well, 11 could just revive her, right? Because 11 revived Max.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just revive her.
That makes sense.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was a little different.
Oh, okay.
I'm worried about
I mean, honestly, personally, I would have been fine with 4 seasons. I think they could have killed Vecna at the end of season 4, and that was it.
Yeah.
The Earth doesn't open up, and and have to close it off with a bunch of grates, with these metal slabs, and
I feel it would have been good at 1 season.
Yeah, they could have done the anthology.
First season was great. Like the anthology.
Sorry, I'm laughing at what Fletcher.
I guess you really shouldn't try to be logical when talking about a fantasy show. Let the kids be happy. They chose a Disney Channel ending. Let's go.
And that's another thing. Like we've all had speculations. Okay, who doesn't make it out alive? They all made it out alive except for Callie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Like,
nobody cared about Callie except for Scarlet.
Like, and it that didn't even dawn on me till afterwards. I was like, wait, they all lived. Like, I thought Jonathan was going to be toast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I was thinking for a second, like if they just kept dropping them and kept killing them, like Steve and stuff, it'd be like insane.
I'll tell you what, there was a part of me that thought we were going to lose Steve in the first 5 minutes.
I thought so too.
I really thought Steve was done. I really thought Steve was done, and then Jonathan. I was like, oh, ironically, of all people to save him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got to say though, I did like the I did like the scene with Jonathan and Nancy when they
unproposed themselves.
Yeah, I was surprised everybody else survived too. I don't know whether, like I said, I don't know that I necessarily expected everybody to survive or would have been upset if they didn't. But I don't know that I love the non-ending. But like I said, more than that, I was annoyed by all the other stuff.
It's bookends, Jamie.
I will say one thing. Even the only monologue I really enjoyed, which really wasn't that long, was Dustin's valedictorian speech. That was awesome. That was probably the best valedictorian speech I've ever heard. He's like, "Screw this guy."
Yeah. All right. Well, let's try to go bit through in order, and then we'll skip around if we need to. But let's try to. So we know that they go in and they're chasing them.
I like that her eyes are highlighted.
Yeah, they
looks like Dracula or Bela Lugosi or something.
I do like though that it at least started out with them all heading in right away. So at least we got the full episode. I just feel like, and maybe this is sort of what you were saying before, like they should have devoted more time to the fight. That's for sure, because they had to have a 2-hour episode and they put so much other stuff in it they didn't need, so I don't know. But they're trying to save the kids, and this is when we see so that's like the spider upside down then, right? Is I guess what that's supposed to be.
Not upside down, just the legs in the air.
Well, because the only issue I have with that is how many fucking legs does that thing have? That's more than 8 legs.
Well, it's not a spider. It's a mind flayer.
Yeah, I got 12 legs, one for each of the kids.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
It looks like that dark. It looks like that dark crystal.
Yeah, I mean, think of it this way: the creature's on its belly, and the legs are straight up in the air. And then when they,
I just noticed it was going to be more than 8. So anyway, Dr. K has finally found out at the beginning that they're at the Squawk and they're headed there, and all this kind of goes on simultaneously because Vicky and Max are left behind. I guess Vicky stayed behind to help Max since Max couldn't at this point.
Well, Vicky just got involved. Vicky would have been the first one dead if she had gone.
Yes, that's true. But they go in with the intent they're going to try to. So I guess the plan basically is that she's going to go attack Henry, and this is where she tells Hopper, don't let me out till I tell you to, no matter what happens. And, whenever somebody says something like that, I think you kind of know it's not going to go according to what you expect it to.
We knew from the start the plan wasn't going to go the way it was expected.
True. But we did get to see her in the tank again. Now, I do have a question about the tank once it gets, once he shoots her, but we'll get to that point first. So I think there was a scene here. I don't remember exactly what their conversation was, but they're kind of having a heart-to-heart. And I think this is where he says, I don't know if it's this part or the other part where Mike tells Will that he's still his best friend, which I don't know that was really necessary because we already had the long scene, last episode. So Max starts to be able to walk, and we find out it's because she's actually inside Elle's mind. This is where she's moving out of where she's at and into it. And this is all kind of overlaid with them on the tower. So the planet is crashing down, and Elle has to do all this stuff before the planet hits. And she has not connected with Henry, so they're kind of all standing there screaming as it starts to come down, which I thought that was cool. I enjoyed all that stuff there. I mean, look, I think all this was kind of done really well, and it was a lot of action and a lot of like threat and stress. You know, I think that they did it really well. I just would have liked to have seen more time devoted to this kind of part, like even just the plan of it. Although I think the battle was the part they really shortened too much.
Yeah, I thought at least 100, like hour and 30 minutes of this would have been the battle.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been nice to have that. So this is where we find out that Max is inside Elle's head, and that she's going to lead them to through Henry's memories.
I loved Max's reaction when she was like, she goes, "Are we in Vecna's head?" She's like, "No, we're in mine." And she's like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, what? Bring me here. What are we doing? Yeah, they just kind of pulled Max in with that. I don't think they even told her they were going to do that. Elle just
no, that was always the plan.
Oh, was it? Okay. She did seem really surprised. That's why I wasn't sure. She's like, "Wait, what?" Yeah.
She's like, "Why don't we just kill this guy?"
Yeah, because they're there, but it's not in his head. So yeah, this
is this part.
Yeah, this is his memory where they try to inject pieces of the play. Look, I don't think I'll be honest, I don't think any of that was necessary anyway. The point is they're in his memory. That's all you really have to know about that whole scene. Talking things. It is. What's this?
I mean, I wish they would have threw in a couple lines.
They could have.
A couple lines to just like hook it up a little bit better.
Yeah. I love how they just spit on the face of the fandom that didn't see the theater play by moving them rushing through the memories. Yeah. Whoops. What did I click on? Yeah, that's what I said. Like, that's kind of what this whole scene was, is showing them in high school and getting ready for the play. And I don't know. To me, I was kind of like, why put it in at all if you didn't have to see the play? Like, it wasn't necessary, I guess. I don't know.
And why does Max not see Henry? And why does Max not see Patty and their love?
Yeah, well, I guess they wanted to put a little bit in, but not enough of it in.
I had a friend of mine who watched this and hadn't seen the play, and she was like, "Where was the robe and skeleton dance from Oklahoma?"
Yeah, that was,
because that's all she knew was the Oklahoma flyer, and then the weird avant-garde dance troupe that was kind of folk horror.
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, Joyce changed the play, but you don't get to know that. They just, I guess, expect you to figure it out.
No, that's not important.
It's not. In the scheme of things, it's not. But I don't know why they maybe should have just showed Oklahoma. Maybe that would have been easier to understand.
I found out Dark of the Moon was an actual play, so I learned things.
Oh, that I don't know. I
thought Joyce just wrote it, but it's a legit play that's been around. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that either. So she's guiding them through the memories while they're trying to avoid Dr. K. And then meanwhile, like I said, the planet is crashing down into the upside down, and they're about ready to be squashed while all this is going on, and they're rushing to find Henry. So they go out onto the stage. You know, I also, and this is where I said I don't know that it was necessary. Like, they go from the stage to Henry's house, right? So, like, why did they even use the memory of the play? Was that just to say to people, if you watch the play, you know what was going on?
It's a
like,
shout out.
I guess.
Well, I mean, in the scheme of, all right. Well, in the scheme of the show, though, it's just like, it's not like the memories connect in ways that make sense.
Yeah, but the dancing makes sense of the first shadow because that's right before Patty dies, and so I thought Patty was going to show up, try to redeem him.
Yeah.
It's right before she falls.
Basically, what they did, basically what they're doing is they're laughing at all of you that saw the play, going, "You didn't need to."
Yeah,
they said it was canon, though. They say a lot.
I know. I understand that it's canon and everything, but I'm just saying all the important stuff they put into the episode.
That's why I'm kind of saying, like, I feel like, why put it in at all? Like, they could have just started out at Henry's house. There was kind of no point to
I get your point, Jamie.
Yeah, I mean, I also get your point. I see that people that saw it want to feel like it was connected a little more, but
but they wanted that cool scene with the people in the robes with the skulls dancing. That's probably what they wanted. They wanted that aesthetic.
I think we were talking, Scarlet and I were talking about this. I think that they should have just put the play on Netflix or in the movie theater or something. Even if they made you pay for it, like, at least then people could have seen it if they wanted to, instead of having.
They had enough time to do that. I mean, especially with the UK version, because the UK version came out in 2023. They had more than enough time to make a nice looking copy of that and put it somewhere.
They did. Well, a lot of times they put
They did.
Plays in the theater anyway, so they definitely could have. B said it was interesting they had to wait for a certain moment in the play before they jumped through the curtains. Did they really? I guess I missed that. I thought they were just doing it so they could show a piece of the play, but I guess
So that's probably why, but that's what Max said.
Okay.
Max was like, hold on, wait for it. Okay, now.
Yeah, that was I missed that too. So I guess Rick says it was confusing. I think it was. Like I said, I don't mind it because I do appreciate that they at least tried to kind of bring it in for
hey Jen,
for the play. Hey Jen. But yeah, I don't know. To me it was unnecessary, but I get it. And then this whole, like I said, this whole thing's going on simultaneously. That's why my pictures are kind of chaotic, and I'm trying to figure it out as I'm going through them. I'm like, it goes back and forth, it goes back and goes forth. Hey, just me. So Steve is about ready to fall off when all this is going on. I love how they have like garbage pail lids for shields.
Yeah, I was gonna say shields.
They're they get what they can get, right?
Exactly.
But they finally do make it into Henry's house and see all the kids, and Elle immediately attacks him and throws him back. I think throws him out the window. And Holly's like, what the hell? So she finally, I don't know. I wondered if she had a concussion or something. She's still got blood dripping from her head.
Yeah.
Somehow she's fine,
It's dry. It's dried now.
It's dried. It's fine. But here's where the tower is going down. I didn't know. The only thing is I kind of felt like, why is the tower is going down because just the little teeny tippy tip is being bent off, but I guess it would unbalance it. So
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think you realize how it's all one connected thing, and even though because it looks tiny, doesn't mean it doesn't have some strength behind it. So by that, it's not just going to bend over and snap off.
But they did all, get up to the top, and then it starts swinging. Now, this is another thing I don't get. And I know this was just to do with the way they filmed it, but it irritated me. He completely let go. You can see right in that scene.
Yeah, that's why I thought he was fun.
Yeah, he let go. So how did he all of a sudden get grabbed by Jonathan? I don't buy that. That didn't
Jonathan. Well, that's what they want you to.
My favorite thing was the black. It went to black was my favorite part.
Yeah,
because I was
even after they get back up, they continue to stand there, and I was like, why are we still standing by the one side of the structure that is no longer there?
Power, people, get off the top. Man, Jonathan became Mr. Fantastic. he stretched his arm.
The fade to black was unnecessary.
Well, what's funny is I thought actually when I saw the hands grasped, because I felt like he was a pretty good distance away.
Yeah.
So when I saw that Jonathan was holding him, I was actually expecting, as they panned up, I thought like Jonathan was going to be like almost hanging off himself, and like they had a chain of everybody.
Yeah, that would have made a lot more sense.
That's what I was expecting to see.
Yeah.
And it was just Jonathan, and I was like, all right, we'll let it go.
It's one of the things of the writing that's a little.
I was hoping he died because I thought I was really hoping.
Big race.
It's that
caught him. Look, I didn't want him to die. I just think they should have filmed it a little different. Like
I would have been upset. Listen, I would have been upset if Steve died, but I wouldn't have hated it.
Yeah.
It's just because it's the finale.
High stakes.
Yeah. No. I just feel like the only reason they filmed it that way was to make it, look more scary or whatever.
Well, it's a gotcha moment for the audience. That's what it is.
But it was a freak out moment.
I'm not saying it's a good thing. I hate it when shows do that shit.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So Holly and Max are reunited. I got a lot of pictures of them crawling out. I love how they're coming up through. And this time we don't have to worry about them getting turned upside down because they're going through the upside down into the other planet. So it's the opposite way. And there's this guy.
Anybody else get Sarah Connor vibes from Nancy?
Oh yeah.
Yes, definitely. I like the design of the planet, but I do kind of feel like it was
It's a desert.
Well, no, I know. I mean, like the color, the way they did it made it completely different from the upside down.
Yeah.
But I do kind of question their choice to make it a desert and then have it have absolutely nothing to do with the desert in the real world. Because we had this discussion last time, and I know Fletcher thought it was like the same cave. And I don't know. Like I said, is it just supposed to parallel his memories? Because it's weird to me that it looks like it but then it's never discussed, never brought up. You're just supposed to.
But it's just a different planet. There shouldn't be any connection to
No,
Earth.
there shouldn't. But that's what I'm saying. If there isn't, why make it look so similar? Or is it just they were too cheap and they filmed in the same place? I mean, there's also that.
Yes.
That's probably Fletcher still thinks it's the future Earth. Well, I guess we'll have to wait until a spinoff and see.
That's not how wormholes work, Fletcher. Unfortunately.
I know. He's going down with that ship.
That's actually funny. That though, that was the first thing Artie said. He goes, "Oh, look, they can breathe."
Yeah, well, they could breathe in the upside down for some reason.
Okay, the upside down sense because it's an interdimensional thing and everything looks like their town.
Yeah.
But the foreign planet breathing part, that's
it does kind of look like
which all right, which I can say all right then I'll give Fletcher maybe that goes to his theory about the future Earth because otherwise why could they breathe on it?
Yeah, that's kind of my point. But it might have just been a filming thing. Like I said, maybe they wanted to be cheap. I don't know. I did like the whole thing where Elle, attacks them in front of the class. See, now I'm reading what B wrote and said the wrong thing. In front of the kids in order for
the class.
Because that was the only way they were gonna believe them. So I liked it. I mean, it was a little cheesy, but I still liked the way they did it and had them all watching in order to see him being a crazy killer. So that worked. But
well, yeah, because they're a bunch of stupid kids, so that didn't believe Holly. So
yes,
you got to show them.
Or didn't notice that Henry was a creeper. He's very creeper.
They never thought so. I guess.
Even if they didn't think he was a monster, this is an adult male creeping on a bunch of kids.
Yeah, that is.
I know. Hey, listen, they taught Stranger Danger in the 80s. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe they should have mentioned a little bit of that. So they're running. I guess I didn't get as many pictures there, but so Elle gets knocked out. Henry pushes her out of the memory, so they run off on their own and without her. And Max is trying to lead the kids, and then this is where Hopper gets a visit from Vecna. Now, I guess. I was trying to think, could he go through it? Yeah, Vecna could go through and talk to him, but that's essentially what happens. Wait, what are you laughing at?
Fletcher.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I see why you're laughing. Fletcher.
That's why it's a true horror dimension.
True. So let me ask you guys a question because I don't know if I just missed something here or I was just interpreting it. Is that supposed when he sees this herbicide, is that how his daughter died? She was poisoned?
No, I thought it was some kind of Vietnam flashback.
Yeah.
Okay, because
Hopper was in Vietnam, right?
I feel like we should have known what the herbicide was for, but I don't remember what it signified with him.
No, I don't either. That's why I assumed maybe his daughter was poisoned or something, and that's why he was doing
his daughter had cancer.
Yeah, that's right. She did. Yeah, because I was trying to figure out why he's seeing this. I mean, I know.
Oh, okay. B's got it.
Oh, yeah, she's got it.
He was exposed to Agent Orange, and that's why his daughter ended up with cancer. Okay, that makes slightly more sense. But
yeah,
they should have. It makes sense, but they didn't say it. So I would have liked.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, that makes.
One of the few times they showed and didn't tell. Amazing.
Yeah,
right.
They didn't show enough. Let's put it that way. So he's shooting at the tank or at the barrels, and he's going to release it accidentally. And then as soon as he sees it starts to come out of the barrels, he's like, "Okay, I got to save Elle," and he immediately starts shooting the tank. Now, this is the part I was completely confused with, and I don't know if
he didn't shoot. He was shooting it at Vecna.
Yeah, he thought he was shooting at Vecna, and then he shot the tank. Okay, I thought he was trying to get her out after the past two, but
he was shooting at Vecna and realized he shot the tank, and there was and there was blood everywhere, so that's why he started smashing the tank.
Okay. Well, but my point is the part that I don't understand is, okay, so he pulls Elle out, right? And I thought I got a picture over there. I don't. But Oh no, this is part of the memory. That's why. So
Mhm.
he pulls her out, and she's not shot. So
Mhm.
we're to assume
Yeah, he didn't shoot her.
he didn't really shoot it. That was all Vecna made him see.
Yes.
Mhm.
But my question is, if he didn't shoot her, then how did he pour through the tank, and why was the tank destroyed? Because she says I can't go in the tank. So like
Mhm.
He broke the glass in the tank.
Mhm. To get her out.
okay, but he didn't shoot the glass. Okay, that's what I was trying to understand.
Yeah.
How? Okay, he broke it.
He was trying to get her out because he thought she was dying.
Yeah.
Right. No, because
He
he
was
thought
not.
he shot her, but I didn't
Mhm.
get. That's what I was trying to figure out, why the glass was broken. I didn't realize he was supposed to have like punched it. I didn't really think
Mhm.
about it, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh well, Vecna's thing was to ruin the tank, so 11 couldn't
Right.
use it.
Yeah.
He
Either way,
succeeded.
he beat it and pulled her out, and the whole scene was messy. I agree. So yeah, I like that Vecna tried to trick him. It was messy. It wasn't super clear what was.
Mhm.
That's why I couldn't figure out. I'm like, he didn't shoot her, but yet he broke the tank. So I forgot he was sort of beating on it. Although I have to question, how the hell did he break through the tank without shooting it though? And maybe
See,
I'm just
that's honestly, I was a little confused too, because I thought I think it was I thought he actually did shoot the tank,
that's
but
what
that he
I
didn't.
thought.
But that he didn't shoot L, because by shooting the glass, that would have been enough for him to beat on it with the gun and break it. Just
Yes.
beating on the glass, I don't know that he would have broke it. But to answer B's question, he couldn't go up to the top because she's on that trapeze artist thing that he has to lower and everything. So if she's shot,
Mhm.
she's not on it anymore. So he can't,
Mhm.
like just grab her and pull her out.
That's true too. Yeah, but I don't know. That's why I really thought he shot it, but then obviously he didn't really shoot her because she's not bleeding. That's kind of the point. He's like, oh, it was
Mhm.
fake.
Yeah,
I don't know. So maybe he
May-
shot it but didn't hit her.
Which I don't know how, because she's standing right there.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's a love for a father for his daughter that he could break the glass.
There you go. Adrenaline, that whole adrenaline thing.
Adrenaline. You got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Well, either way.
Anyway.
Sloppy writing. Okay, so then when this happens, Max gets pulled out as well, and she tries to really quick tell them to get to the cave because she realizes she's going to disappear as well. And it's now up to Holly, who is, supposed to be 7, clearly isn't, but I think we've aired our grievances on that enough there. Yeah, I honestly think the Duffer Brothers were confused when they made that scene.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, they know what they're doing, but they don't know. That's what interviews tell me.
Yeah. The mom lifting a car could be an adrenaline thing. It could
Mhm.
be. I don't know. It's a mess. But so this is, I think, where they have the conversation where she's trying to tell Elle that they can't do what they planned because she's more worried about them unaliving themselves.
Mhm.
And Hopper knows what their plan is, and he gets all pissed, and he's like, I'm not blowing it up till you're out of here, which didn't work since she faked him. And that's the other thing that I know we're not to that part yet, but that's the other thing. If she didn't fake it and it was like not really her, it would make sense. But if it was really her standing there, like he waited until she got out, and then it didn't do any good anyway. So yeah, more of that. But they make the agreement she's going to be that she will not stay up in the other dimension when they break the connection. So they run into the caves, and this is all kind of happening together. Oh, I love this where he's like, if I need a weapon, and she hands him one of her many guns, and then is it Will? I think it's Will says that.
Lucas.
Okay.
Lucas says he's like, yeah, all right, and Luke's like, that's a flare gun. But I said it before. I said it before Lucas. As soon as I saw it, I said she gave him a fucking flare gun. But you know what? It turned out to be really useful.
It worked.
It did. Which, yeah, it did turn out to be what worked in the end. So then Henry is trying to get in, and he does finally force himself in. Let me ask you guys. So he's scared to go in the cave because of this memory, right?
Mm-hmm.
I also kind of question, like, if he really chose to side with to side with the Mind Flayer, then why the hell is he so scared of the damn memory? Like, you can't have it both ways, I feel like he's terrified of the memory because he regrets what he did, or he's not.
That's why I thought they'd give him a redemptive arc, because that doesn't make sense the other way.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, AJ? Why is he scared of this memory? So
I had no idea. I thought maybe he was scared of being shot. I really don't know. I didn't understand it either. My whole thing was, I kept saying, I was like the key. I really thought that the key to defeating Vecna was whatever was in the briefcase. Turns out it was a stone from the Upside Down, which doesn't make. Like, I actually am kind of confused about the stone, because the stone clearly looks like something from the Upside Down, but it possesses them. It connects him to the Mind Flayer, who's not in the Upside Down yet. So
you want to take that, Scarlet, and explain the parts that he missed that were important?
Well, let me ask you this simple question: when did the government create the wormhole?
Is that around the Philadelphia experiment time?
Well, I thought they said L created the wormhole part.
No, L absolutely did not create the wormhole.
I know, but that's what they said. That's why they keep saying.
Who said that?
Last episode, they said that she connected the two worlds when she. I still don't understand the thing about.
No, she said no.
She a line about that
when she blasted Henry, and we see him turn into Vecna. She blasted his ass to
the Upside Down. She ripped
to the abyss. No, he didn't go to the Upside Down. He went to the abyss.
You're right, to the abyss.
He went to the abyss.
According to the first Shadow play, there's a scene in the beginning with the Philadelphia experiment and a boat, I do believe, called the U.S. Elridge, maybe? And it disappears, but the people on the ship are attacked by Demogorgon, so I'm assuming that it went to what they call Dimension X.
That's my point. There already had to be a wormhole.
That's what I'm saying. The Upside Down and the wormhole were already there before.
So I'm not sure.
My point is, it had to be there for this to happen. The guy clearly worked for the government, had something from the Upside Down or the abyss, and so yeah. Even though that
was just my point, though. I didn't understand that line because it didn't make sense, because the wormhole was there, the Upside Down was already there. But the part that you didn't see that was in the play was about how I forget what his real name is, but Papa.
Well, Fletcher says Brenner's father was the first to go.
Brenner's, that's what I should. Yeah, he went to Dimension X, and then Brenner was trying to figure out more about it, and that's why they were experimenting with like the Rock or whatever.
Oh,
but
I guess the Rock was in the play too.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't exactly. There was something else in the play, which makes it even more confusing, but it's similar.
Yeah. Well,
I just don't know why after you murder somebody, you would take the briefcase and open it. That seems really weird for a kid to do.
It does.
Well, I'm gonna say to you this. I'm gonna say to you the same thing I said to Karen. Are you looking for a better answer than curious, stupid kid?
It's true.
It is strange, though, that it did look more like it was from the Upside Down than Dimension X. I do agree with you there. Like, I feel like it should have been yellow, and it would have made more sense than making it red.
Well, it totally looked like
when they made it at the beginning, they didn't know they were going to do Dimension X, and they hadn't decided that yet. So they added that after the fact.
Well, because it looked like the I don't know what you want to call it, the webbing between the worlds.
Oh yeah, that's true. It did kind of look like
that's what it looked like.
Yeah, you're right. It did look like that. I hadn't thought about that. So look, I did want to point out though, because I just saw this. I'm assuming that's Holly's shadow, but that's kind of cool because it kind of looks like her little.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Oh my God, it does. I had noticed that.
Yeah, but they made it so it kind of looks like her little figure. But yeah, I think that's Holly, isn't it? It looks like it is. That shadow.
It does.
Cute.
Yeah, but either way, I know what I was gonna say. He finally went in. I don't know why he was totally terrified, but he went in. Eddie says they originally wanted to go 3 or 4 seasons, but money talks. You can feel the Duffers didn't give shit compared to the previous.
Well, to be fair, when what was it, season 2? They were in an interview. They were asked how many seasons they saw us going. They're like, we can't see it going past 4 seasons because after a while you start to wonder why the fuck these people still live in Hawkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why when I heard there was going to be a season 5, I went, well, they went back on that one.
Well, that's the thing too, is that this season to me feels so disconnected. And that's why I feel almost like they're like, we got to come up with something else. I know, let's make another planet. And they stuck it in because like it's not that I didn't like or appreciate the story of how this was all connected by the bridge and that, it wasn't actually the upside down was just the in between and everything, but it just seemed like out of nowhere. It didn't seem like there was any clues that it was coming or that it was leading up to it or anything. I think they added that and tacked it on. I really do. Hey, Dieter. Let's see. They did have that line. Fletcher says, Elle created the bridge. Bender's father was the first to travel to Dimension X in that Philadelphia experiment. See, that's what I don't get. There had to be a bridge, though. Otherwise, how did he get there?
Right.
Write your own plot line here.
Google says she created the wormhole that became the Upside Down when she made psychic contact with Henry in the Abyss / Dimension X. Well, that's why I said there was a line in the episode.
But that doesn't make sense.
Apparently, the Google AI probably doesn't know more than we do. So
yeah, if it's Google AI, then I wouldn't trust it.
At least I'm guessing that's what that was.
I was searching for something once, and I didn't ask AI to give me the answer. I was just searching for something, and I read the Google AI thing, and I'm like, that's not even close to what I already know the truth is.
Yeah, it's just
can't trust the AI.
Yeah, she created the bridge for the particles to return to their origin planet because Brenner's father had taken them to our planet years before. So when Elle pushed Henry, it returned home. Okay, I don't know. To me, it just is confusing. And you're right, the Mind Flayer doesn't need bridges, no, but
why not?
I'm more talking about the people on the ship traveling there needed a bridge. I don't know. The Mind Flayer is the Mind Flayer. I can buy the Mind Flayer, don't, but the people getting from point A to point B, they need the bridge. So that was what completely lost me somewhere.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the upside.
The more I talk about this, the more I realize this episode was a complete mess. That's all.
Yeah, because why is the Mind Flayer going anywhere if the upside down doesn't exist?
Yeah, and why did my other question is, if the upside down was just the bridge, why were the Demogorgons like living in the upside down? Why weren't they staying in their own dimension? Like, did they just decide we need to wander out here to kill?
We like it here.
I don't know. I said I think this whole season was added after I don't think this idea was there in the beginning. But I don't know. I didn't think it was this much of a mess till we started talking about it, and I'm like getting more and more confused.
That's why we talk about
it. Like, really?
Well, the first time I watched it, I was kind of okay, and reading interviews and watching it again, my mind's all clouded. So many thoughts.
Yeah, it's. I think they changed it kind of from what it was when they started. The idea that we got at the beginning. But either way, Henry goes through and gets back out, and now he's coming after the kids.
I mean, to be fair though, they had to have some semblance of it because when Henry gets, first time we see Henry after he becomes Vecna, he's in Dimension X.
Yeah. This is as Bessie is trying to watch 3 seasons of Dark, but at least Dark connects and makes sense.
No, Dark works. Dark works.
Spoilers.
Yeah, no, we're not telling you what. I'm just saying Dark.
I only watched the first season. I gotta watch the other 2.
No, but it's like Dark is like so far out there, but I felt less confused and like
it stuck the landing and you could figure it out instead of
Ooh, this is the best comment yet. Fletch, you got it one up in here because this is now the best comment.
Nothing matters. The best twist would have been if Robin said, "I don't like girls," and she oh, that's kind of funny. Yeah. Look,
poor Vicky.
They fucked it up. Like I said, I did not. I mean, when I watched it, like I did not enjoy it, but that doesn't mean that it was good writing.
It was enjoyable.
It was.
I mean, it was. You know what? It was
fine.
It was very similar. All right, I gotta say, how do I say this? While we were huge Lost fans, a lot of people felt let down by the finale. But one thing both shows did was it really tugged at your heartstrings. I'll be honest, I cried a lot. I cried a lot the last 2 episodes of the season.
This season, you mean? Yeah. Well, I cried.
That's what I'm saying. Episode 7 and 8. I cried a lot. Episode 7 and 8 because the monologue started in 7.
Yeah,
And I could see if you're a real fan of these characters in Stranger Things, how you would be in tears by the end. The whole Judge of the Dragon scene.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter if I'm investing in characters or not. I'm just apparently a big. I have turned into this big sappy person. There is a commercial. I don't know if anybody has seen, but there's a bookstore.
Not about dogs, is it?
No. I think it's a Toyota commercial. There is an old elderly bookstore owner, and there's a fire, and his bookstore burns down, and he's lost everything. The townspeople help rebuild the store, and then this little girl with her little red wagon goes around town collecting books from everybody to resupply his. I saw this commercial the first time. I couldn't stop crying. It's nothing to do with being invested in people. I'm just a big fucking sap at 50 years old.
No, I'm like that too. I'm like, damn it, I can't. I was so like, I cannot see through my contacts anymore. I had to clean them because I'd been crying too much, so I can't comment. Yeah. AJ, he says I only cried at commercials when I was pregnant. Maybe you have an issue, AJ. I don't know. I'm all at everything, so I can't.
I blame my kids.
I cry at those commercials when dogs are left outside and mistreated, and they want me to send them money. I usually do.
Oh, for the dog, yeah. I turn
off
St. Jude's. I turn off the ASPC, whatever it is. The ones with the animals. I just turn the commercial. Like, no, because I will start following. I don't have money, so I just turn it off and don't watch it. Like, not watching that commercial. Anyway, as I was saying, I did enjoy this season, but a lot of the writing was not great. As I said before, like, I love Marvel movies, but when I go in to watch a Marvel movie, I don't expect like this really like deep movie, right?
Yeah.
I enjoy it, but it's not always the best plot. Although Marvel's better than this, but that's
but then with the first shadow, you think it's going to be deeper, and then it's not.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, though, I think we expect and want things deeper than they are.
I've said all along about Stranger Things. It's not that deep.
It's not. That they did make it feel like it might be.
Yeah.
So Elle and Callie are being affected because the military are there with their machine that is affecting them, and this is when Murray throws the bomb off the edge, but first we have them escaping. I'm trying to go in order, but it keeps flipping back and forth.
Yeah, it keeps going back and forth, yeah.
But yeah, there's Murray. You know what I was starting to wonder as I watched this? I'm like, I want to know how they made this, because a lot of this set had to be like a real set, right? Like, it looks like it is.
Like the melty bits?
Yeah, it looks so cool. And I think it was the melty bits were real. They looked real. Like, they're like, I don't know, something that they melted or sprayed on there, whatever. But I loved Murray. I wish they would have. I agreed with, I forget where I read it, that somebody said that they were mad he didn't get like his happy ending. I kind of would have liked to see him like have a little post scene as well, because I liked Murray a lot. Not that we necessarily needed it, but I bet Fletcher says, I bet Karen was screaming at her TV watching the ending. Yeah, I'm waiting to hear what she said, because I'm sure she has a lot to say about it.
Oh, I'm sure she does too.
That's why
ending, you mean the last 50 minutes?
Yeah, the last 15 minutes of crap. I don't know. I thought that whole thing was just like really.
I felt like I was watching
I want him to have a happy. I mean, look, I like the happy. I'm not saying it wasn't emotional, like you said. It made you cry. It was good, and like I loved that like Hopper proposed to Joyce, but it wasn't necessary. And like, if you're gonna do that, at least have a good battle. Like, they devoted
the battle was too short
for the battle, and then like this whole thing, and it just
You know what I really did appreciate though was Joyce chopping off Vecna's head.
Yeah, that was cool.
Except in my head, she was like
Joyce finally got it. When I first saw that Joyce was going with them, I was like, what? I was like, Joyce hasn't done anything in 5 seasons.
Yes.
All she's done this whole time is worry about Will. So I appreciate they finally gave her something to do.
And she really realistically chopped it off in several swipes. And the whole time I'm thinking of, this is for me not getting a scholarship for my play, Dark of the Moon.
At least it wasn't like a quick one laugh thing. I realized I don't think I put the Discord link in the chat. I'm putting that in there for everybody because I know I see we have
everybody call in.
some new people today in the chat. If you haven't, make sure that you join our Discord because you can see our schedule as well as all our watch parties that we had. Considering we watched Stranger Things finale right before we did this, and it was me, Scarlet.
Oh yeah,
just me. That was pretty much the watch party, but you know.
Oh, that was Jenna.
Yeah, she was there a little bit. She was there at the beginning, I think.
Yeah, Jenna. Yeah.
Let's see. Fletcher says when Vecna was slowly turning his head towards Joyce, I was like, are they about to acknowledge them knowing each other?
You ruined my play. He's like, I would have been the best curly ever.
That would have been funny.
Oklahoma when the wind goes driving down the plane.
Yeah.
That was much better.
It was strange even that he was looking at them like after he was kind of dead, but
he was like,
all right. So sorry. I try to remember like which people go by in what place, and I try to call them the right thing from the right place we're at. Yeah, Murray has
that doesn't matter.
No, I know. Well, so Murray has thrown the bomb off the side, and he does destroy I don't even remember what they're called, the speaker things that stop their powers. But it also means the military is still coming in to attack them. And Hopper, this is where Hopper goes back to save Callie, because of course, Elle has to tell him to go back, or he never would have went back, right? Like,
yeah. I tell you what, I was a little disappointed because they made like the whole time I felt like Callie was up to something, like we were missing something with her I did not trust her at all, and it turned out just to be nothing.
You should have trusted her.
She was just cynical.
Yeah,
she's the most idealistic, sacrificing person in this whole episode.
I don't know. I was still still kind of annoyed with Callie. I didn't.
I understand her viewpoint.
Like her.
Make it right.
Yeah, but she came in at the 11th hour, and
I know that wasn't her fault.
For like 5 minutes. I'm not saying she wasn't, but
5 minutes
kept her out of it for so long. I don't know. I just didn't love that. All right, so the kids are now looking to Holly to lead them. Oh, I love he's got ET phone home. Did you see his shirt?
Yeah. I love the girl in the glasses, though. She's my favorite, the polka dots.
Yeah,
I'm so glad she was in that last scene. She's my favorite.
They're all great. Holly sees her poker and she's trying to be brave. And then here's more Murray. And now, what the hell is up with the makeup effects on that guy's scar? I'm sorry. When I took these pictures, I was thinking, why is his scar yellow like that? Like, look at it. It's yellow.
It's infected.
I guess, but I don't know
it's
infected that quickly. Hasn't this been like a couple days since this happened? It looks like a deep scar with yellow paint. I don't know.
It looks pussy. It looks gross.
It doesn't look like pus to me, though. It looks like
you need some alcohol on that.
Mike says the reason why the battle was short and scenes seemed rushed. Let's hire Linda Hamilton. More money.
Yeah, exactly. More money. Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Not one Prince song, but two. Oh no!
And that's what's too, because it was like so great that Linda Hamilton was in it, but they gave her like very little to do.
She was just Brenner Part 2. That's all she really amounted to.
Yeah,
and which is a problem. So he shoots Callie. I'm putting that in quotes since some people don't believe that, but that guy shoots Callie. She's bleeding to death, and Elle and Hopper try to save her. Sorry, I guess I'm ahead or behind on the
he throws it first and then
because this is where he's going to throw the bomb.
You know what's funny?
What makes me think that has to be real too, because the drips are made into a step.
Yeah, because he's climbing over it. Yeah,
because he literally has to climb.
You know what's funny about the scene? The way they shoot it and the way he's running, I really thought he was like going to jump off the side of the building with it.
Yeah,
and then he just stops on a dime and throws it. And I'm thinking that was an awful short runway for him to run like that.
It was. I thought he was too. And when I was taking the screen captures, it made it look like it too. And there was another one somewhere here that looks like it. Leo Lady says Murray should have died in that scene, but the Duffers wimped out again. I would have been upset if Murray died. I liked Murray. I liked Murray. No,
they could have had the graduation scene and all that without Murray. They could have expended him.
Yeah, they could have. We didn't want. There it is. There's the bomb. And
he could have been a hero.
Yeah, that's the helicopter at the bottom. You can kind of see it. It goes boom. So they are no longer have their powers being constrained, but he does shoot her. This is where he shoots her.
Yes, people were saying she got hit by debris, but that's definitely a
no.
that's
She
one
was
shot.
freaking shot. She was shot. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I don't see how there is any way. Look, the only really, really bad way I could come up with is that he shot her and she was almost dead and she survived that whole time. So they came up with this plan.
No, she did.
It just doesn't work. I
don't. Eleven can't revive her like a little bit. Just a tiny bit.
I didn't like any of the ending. Like I said, I don't know that it's necessarily. I didn't like that they killed Elle or whatever. It's not that I didn't mind that they gave an open ending. It's just the way they did it and all the other junk in between. So there is the mind flayer spider thing with the myriad of legs again.
Yes.
I'm curious how many legs it has. But, apparently I normally don't count because you know what I discovered today, AJ, which is so stupid, but it was bugging me all day. I never noticed, and now I'm saying this, and everybody's like, why are you saying this? That the Hydra symbol only has 6 legs. This drove me nuts. I'm watching this, I never noticed that. And now I'm like noticing, why does this damn spider here have way more legs than it should? Because that thing's got like...
It's not a spider, it's a mind flayer.
It's a mind flayer, yeah. And I guess a squid has less legs. I don't know. But anyway, so there's Holly being choked by Henry. I was going to say Vecna, but it's Henry trying to get away.
It's the same person. You say Henry or Vecna.
It doesn't matter at this point.
Originally, I theorized there were 2 different people, but I guess they're the same.
We've seen him transform.
No, we've seen him transform, but I kind of wondered if Henry was. I kind of wondered after watching the play if they were going to have Henry, especially whenever Stupid Will was like, you didn't want to be that way. I thought maybe they were going to somehow like separate them, and I think that would have been more disappointing.
That would have pissed me off.
It would have been a little bit more intriguing, even if he chose the dark side after.
Yeah, it would depend how they did it. I think it probably would have been not great. But anyway, he is coming in and he's stopping and seeing his memory in the cave, and this is where Will is watching it and figuring out what's going on. B says, I'm really glad they didn't do some multiple personality crap with Henry. I was glad at least he's like, I chose this. I just don't see the point that they had the whole story before if they weren't gonna.
Or Joyce was like, I went to high school with that guy.
It would have been nice. So Murray's all happy until he realizes Callie didn't come out. I appreciated that at least he was like,
I thought he wasn't going to mention her.
Because Murray's like, yes. And he's like, wait, what? Like, why are you sad?
I thought they were going to be, let's go on.
Yeah.
Like Crystal and Yellow Jackets, let's go on.
What I want to know is, did anybody except Scarlet care that Callie died? I don't know.
I care. I had to speak up for Callie.
No, I see that.
I liked her. I mean, I kind of liked her because she's a little goth monk and she hung out with punks.
I'm not saying I disliked her. I just don't think she added a lot to the story.
I mean, originally they were going to spin her off into another series. That's why that episode was there. The sister episode.
When Callie first returned, I was like, oh, cool. I was happy for it. I was like, oh, you know what, Yeah. And then she really added nothing.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
She was better in like the first time she came in. I think like that story I think was more interesting.
I mean, I feel like her entire purpose was to tell Elle to commit suicide.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or
AJ, if you get taken off of Facebook, I'm going to smack you for that. Okay.
Or show all the pregnant women they accidentally killed. All the pregnant ladies that they blew up.
Yeah, they did blow up. No, I said if my video gets taken off of Facebook again, I blame you.
What happened?
When we on that stupid one, it was Scarlet and I's video that got taken off when we were talking about Lazarus, and I just think it's hilarious that we were talking about the fact he didn't do that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It moved so.
That's
stupid.
Right.
Things are too picky with being politically correct. Anyway,
Orwellian.
Yeah, it's funny, but all right. So Hopper, this is where he's reminiscing and remembering. I only took one flashback photo because it was kind of like we didn't need all flashback photos.
Nostalgia. I thought this was going to be a clip show for a while.
Yeah, I thought it was maybe going to be too. I didn't dislike her, but I agree her entire purpose was to tell Elle to sacrifice herself. Sure. Yes. Leo says Eleven did all that training to ditch her friends when they're being held at gunpoint. Great job. Sloppy.
That's not what the training was for. The training was to defeat Vecna. That she did that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that's fair. She did jump in the air, and she did jump from rock to rock to rock to get there. They made a point of saying how she
only they didn't show us her doing that.
I know. Like, didn't you have enough money?
I was kind of annoyed with that.
I was too. Yeah, that was.
They only had $480 billion.
Mm-hmm. But that is that's coming up here where she goes, into Dimension X / Did they ever? They never actually called it Dimension X, did they?
Mm-mm.
No,
in the show.
The kids named it the Abyss.
Yeah.
Did they even say that in the play though?
They said it in the play. They said it in the play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't hear half of it, so I'll interpret this.
Yeah, I understand. It's not the best quality.
It's not. So here's Henry having his memory about the guy he kills. I do think the play.
That's a curious kid move. You're dead. I'm going to take the case from you and open it up
after I kill you. I do think that this was explained a little bit better if you've seen the play, and I think it gave some context. Did you need it? No, not really.
Not really, but it helps.
Okay. Dustin said Dimension X was.
Oh yeah, he did say that.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
Okay.
I still kind of, we talked about this. I know I think it was on Fandom Access because I think it was when you were there, AJ. Because I know that Karen disagrees. I still don't know that I totally think that at that point that he was bad or necessarily blame him for what he did in a sense, because he's a kid. This guy's holding him at gunpoint. He shoots him in the hand. Yes, kept beating him, and that kind of is concerning and makes him seem not a good person. But I mean, the kid was scared. The fact that he killed him was sort of, I'm saying sort of, very sort of, gray area self-defense a little bit. If he
no,
had
it's
just
not.
Then, he shouldn't have kept beating him in the face. But like, I could understand the kid being scared and not knowing what to do. The guy shot at him.
Okay. And he stared at his hand and then picked up a rock and beat him in the face. My ass would at that age, I get shot in the hand, I'm running the other fucking way.
Most people.
The minute I see the gun, I stop and go, I came to help you, but if you don't want help,
see ya.
I'm not saying it was a smart decision. I'm just saying I don't know that I believe that Henry was evil until after he got taken over by Mind Flayer, whatever the frack it was. But yes, it was creepy. That's why I said the fact that he kept bashing his head in kind of makes me question it. But he was saving his life a little bit, or his own life, I mean. So there's the rock from Dimension X / the Abyss that infects Henry and goes into his hand. And that's where we see the Mind Flayer take him over, which finally explains some of it. And he's like, ooh. And then bam, no eyes. That was creepy. I liked how they did that. He's got no eyes. I didn't know. I was going to say that was so quick. I wonder if people could see that or notice that, like that he had no eyes, because it was so quick. I mean, I knew it because of the play, but yeah. And Henry is still like, how did this happen? Hi, Debbie. And Henry's like, what? And then this is where Will is like, it wasn't your fault. The Mind Flayer did it, et cetera, et cetera. And he starts feeling bad for Henry. And thankfully, Henry, after a little bit of flashback, is like, no, I chose to join him. And we became one. And I don't know.
He will feel so good.
Thank God. I tell you what, if he'd been like, oh, you know what?
Yeah. No, I am glad that they got over with that quickly. I appreciated that. And there's the big
and torn
hairy Mind Flayer again. That its head. I have problems with that head design. It looks it does not look
that's suggestive.
I'm sorry, it does not look good. But I don't know. It gives me bad vibes.
It's all weirdly sexual this season.
Yeah, it looks very sexual. Okay, so they are trying to. Hey, Julie. So they're trying to run away from this thing and figure out how to beat it because it's this humongous spider. They got to figure out. Thanks, Debbie. That's okay. Watch the ending though, and then you can tell us if you're as annoyed as we are when you're done. Just gonna leave that one off the screen, Fletcher. But yes, that was what I was alluding to.
I just saw it. I was like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I love that B. That's great.
That's better than pluribussy.
Yeah. So
I like that one too.
With the design. So Elle is going to kill Vecna while they try to attack the Mind Flayer. And they come up with this whole plan basically where they're going to get him stuck in the rocks. And it's all happening kind of, they do it as Elle goes inside to attack Vecna. Look, I really liked this part. I'm not saying I didn't. I just think it was so short that it was annoyingly short. And it was like he was dead so quick. I don't know. They blew it like.
No, I agree. That I thought the whole fight scene was too short compared to the rest of all the other crap.
Yeah. So that's the other thing I was going to ask. So that thing that was like pulsing, that was like the heart or whatever of this creature.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, but we didn't know that till now. I was thinking about that now as I'm looking at this picture, like what it was. But there's her using her powers, and then meanwhile, there's Nancy who is leading. She decides to be bait. I love that they're like, "Who's going to be bait?" And she's like, "I'm bait." Like she's totally down for running and baiting this thing, and they're going to drive it into the rocks. Because look, she could have killed Vecna, and if they didn't kill the Mind Flayer, then they'd still be screwed. So at least they, took care of everything. But yeah, she threw him on the spiky, which I'm not sure why the spider Mind Flayer thing has big spikes of, something inside his stomach. That was the other thing. Like, how are they inside this thing fighting? But that's a whole other issue I had with it. But she throws it and impales him on it after a while. And it was cool. It just wasn't long enough. Yeah. And then he's got the flamethrower. They're all pushing it back until it gets stuck. Okay, Julie agreed. The fight scene was way too short and easy, anticlimactic. And that's what I said. They had a 10-minute fight scene and then 40 minutes worth of shit. That's my. That's the best way to describe it. Look, I like
drama. If you like drama,
I don't dislike the drama, but it shouldn't be at the expense of the action because everybody's waiting for that showdown. That was like a big thing, and then it's like done. All right, so she pulls Holly out. Yeah, I was kind of surprised it was done. I was like, is something else going to happen? Is somebody else going to attack? Is it really not dead? He can't be dead, right? That was what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is all the particles. Is that what we're calling it? The particles, the upside down, the Dimension X, whatever the hell is inside them. Vecna juice is all is spraying out of the kids. I do believe and agree that like whatever that is, like maybe the Mind Flayer is still alive or something. I also have to wonder if like that Mind Flayer is only one of many. There's only one Mind Flayer.
Dark ones.
Out of the kids, and there Jonathan saves. Oh geez, I just blanked. Derek. I like Derek.
Delightful Derek.
Derek or dipshit Derek, and I'm like, yes, I've been saying Vecna juice. Hey, we got a Wolf. Leo says Nancy's Rambo with that hair was too much. I kind of liked the Rambo Nancy though, and I do agree it more reminded me of Sarah Connor.
Yeah, Sarah Connor.
So I think that's what they were going for. I had seen there was an article saying she was supposed to represent somebody, but I never got a chance to read it.
Yeah.
There is Vecna, who has been impaled by the insides of the Mind Flayer. Hey, Amy. And there's Joyce chopping its head off. I did like that. And I love that it was like non-instant. She had to really cut it. And Holly's like, what?
Yeah, exactly. It's realistic.
And there's the unseen head there after it has come off. They did do a good job with his design. Like when you see it up close, you see like all the wormy roots and shit going on. It's cool. And everybody is safe. And yeah, way too fast. Way too fast. And there's Hopper on the outside waiting for them. And they're going to start the song and blow up the bridge and disconnect everything. So yeah. Anything I was going to say, did we have some of the star chat we had? Oh no, I had saved something B said that was for later. Joyce Dorn took an axe and gave. That's great. It reminded me of when Jamie Lee Curtis chopped off Michael Myers' head in one of the Halloween movies. Yes.
Yeah, he lived.
Yeah, but Jamie Lee Curtis did it in one whack though, and that was Halloween H2O.
That's true.
Yeah.
I like that it wasn't easy though, because they always do that. Like nobody can chop off somebody's head in like one whack.
Yeah.
It depends on how sharp the blade is. I mean, she had a axe for cutting wood, so yeah, it was gonna take a minute.
Pretty dull. Yeah.
Yeah, it was gonna take a minute. So they're all on their happy ride back. I don't know. What did you guys think at this point? Because I was just kind of like, that's it. That was pretty much.
I was happy they didn't use side 1 of Purple Rain where it ends with Darling Nikki, which is a song about masturbation.
Yeah, you were telling me that. I did like the music that they chose. But yeah, I was thinking nobody died. There's got to be something else.
Mm-hmm. That's
I
what I thought.
was kind of happy nobody died, but I'm like, wait, but there's still an hour left. How is there still an hour left? Yeah.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
Yeah. I like Fletcher. The hive mind doesn't mean shit. Yeah, they kind of. What happened to that? I never really thought about it. Will connected.
They killed the mind flayers. So no more hive. They killed Vecna and the mind flayer. No more hive mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, the particles.
And I mean, Arya Stark with the choice of Joyce as the one killing Vecna Creel. I know who that is, but I don't understand the meaning because I haven't seen it. So, but yeah, I think they should have done more. I kind of thought that it would be interesting if he still had powers after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
There was just more. Anyway.
Joyce, they acted.
Yeah, Jonathan's
I think they missed, and when they were walking around, and then on the way back, like, why the fuck are they so chill? Are they all high on Jonathan's pot? I think they might have been. Fletch says, if shadow particles exist, the shadow monster is alive. I think it could be. I agree with Fletch in this case, and I think it's for the purpose of a spinoff.
You know what? And it doesn't even matter if it's still alive because they destroy the.
Yeah, it has no way to get here. There's no bridge. And I don't know that it needs it, but it's, supposed to, I guess. All right. So the military, he says Winona chopped off Dracula's head.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Did. Right. Maybe it was, well, that was 90s movie, not 80s, or I was going to say maybe that was on purpose.
It's still Winona Ryder, though, so that's.
Yeah, she has some practice.
Yeah. Will had insane plot armor from the hive mind. He should have had to die when they killed the mind flayer because he was connected to it still. He felt the flames when they burnt demos in episode 4. That would have been slightly more interesting, I think, to be honest. I mean, not that I want Will to die, but it would have been a better story, I think, because it was getting boring.
I don't know that he necessarily would have had to die. He just would have been. I mean, all the kids should have died then. Or
screaming or something, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, so the military is going to arrest everybody, capture them, whatever, even though they just saved the planet. Bye-bye, they came to grab them. And I don't think I had ever, I think because I didn't get as many pictures of the one scene, I don't think I had ever said that they did find them at the squawk, which is how they ended up led to here. But at that point, they were already... ended up out of his mind, Elle's mind. So it didn't matter. But this is where I am more disappointed in this, Scarlet, after what you told me the writer said, because it makes even less sense to me now.
I'm sorry. I made you sad.
That's not your fault.
I didn't mean to cause you trouble. I didn't mean to cause you any pain.
So this is a scene where Elle is about to sacrifice herself. And she talks to Mike in his mind about the fact that she has to unalive herself and that she's sorry and tell everybody. I was pissed, though, also, and I'm curious if other people were. my thought was, why didn't she talk to Hopper? I felt really bad for Hopper. I think she should have talked to Hopper. I really didn't care all that much if she talked to Mike, if I'm 100% honest. I've never loved their relationship from the beginning. So, yeah, I would have rather her talk to
Mike, though, because she says to Mike, and it doesn't make sense until later, she's like, you might not understand right now, but you will in time. And he understood a year and a half later when he figured out that it was a big ploy. That
if it was, yeah. Yes, I agree that that's why she told him, in the sense that he had to be the one to figure that out. But that's if you believe that. I still think she should have talked to Hopper too.
Or you don't read that interview.
Or you don't read that interview. Yeah. Basically, for anybody who's wondering, since I'm talking about it, the interview, the writer said that this never happened, that this was all in his head and he made it up. And I just don't understand that. That makes me understand this scene even less and makes it even more. They need to keep their mouths shut. Sorry, but that's all right.
I don't know how or why. I guess it's because they had those zappy things up and she couldn't have done that. I don't know.
Well, she couldn't have done that, but I mean, yeah, she couldn't have done that, but that's why some of it didn't make sense in the first place. That's why I don't know. In season 2, they had to disconnect Will from the hive mind in order to protect him before they could close the gate, which caused all the demons in the world to die. So this was really inconsistent. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah. I do wish they'd done more with the hive mind. I really do. Dieter said, and on the military, just get away with all this. Terminator really doesn't get any punishment. Of course not. They're the evil military. That's I buy from 80s movies, right?
I thought it was going 80s movies with them.
Yeah.
That's the only answer.
I do buy. But yeah, they say they're tearful goodbye. I don't know. Like, I guess it's their first love. They think they're in love. I don't know whether they're really in love. I just wasn't that moved, I guess, by the two of them. And I would have preferred to see her tell Hopper goodbye. That's my personal opinion.
But yet he never said he loved her. And that's the only thing she wanted to hear. Twice he didn't do that. Twice.
No, but they showed her remembering it in the flashback. So that didn't really bother me. But I don't know. AJ, what did you think? You're kind of quiet. What did you think about that goodbye?
I didn't care.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Amy says, where was Vicky? I assume being in
where was Vicky?
Flash forward. That didn't bother me because Vicky was new.
I didn't even notice that Vicky wasn't around for any of that.
No, a lot of people are saying that. And then there's this whole discussion about they think that that's who Robin was talking about in some of what she says.
What, her new friends?
Yeah. B says, it's Scarlet. It does bug me that Mike doesn't say he loves her back.
Yeah. What a jerk.
I don't know. Maybe I would have cared more.
Especially if it's in his own head, Jamie. Especially if it's in his own head. He can't even say he loves her in his own head.
Maybe he.
I didn't even notice that he didn't say it.
So bad.
I didn't, because they showed the flashback of him saying it. That's why it didn't bother me. But like I said, I don't know that I buy their love. So I could take it or leave it.
Fair.
This was the worst scene in the bad finale. 11 leaving her friends in this moment and Kay just letting everyone go. They did the 18-month time jump because the Duffers couldn't come up with anything. You might be right. Look, I totally get that Elle had to, if that's what happened, that Elle had to pretend she was dead because they would have never let her go. That would have been the way to end it, I think, to have her fake her death. But she could have told Hopper. I almost wondered whenever Hopper was talking to Joyce later about going to the cabin or whatever, I thought he was going to make some comment that meant Elle was going to be there and was hiding, but they didn't. Didn't happen. I laugh every time Mike and Elle reunite because they never kissed, but they did kiss here. They kissed.
Yeah,
they kissed. I even have a picture of it. They kissed.
There you go.
And there she is, standing there in the I don't know, doorway to the upside down, I guess you'd say, ready to sacrifice herself.
Well, I want to see you standing in the doorway to the upside down. Never mind.
Hey, at least we're calling it upside down this time, right? Yeah. Look, I get the fact that she couldn't have used her powers because of the speakers. Whoops, that's not quite yet. They make a point of that. just don't. Yeah, I don't like the ending. That's the simplest explanation. I do not like the ending. I think that
Not
they should have
even the
had her.
ending.
Like, I could have believed she snuck in and ran and hid. She didn't have to stand there and show that she was sacrificing himself. So I
It's very
don't
dramatic.
know. Bill says it's a stupid hero complex. It does. We do get that a lot in these shows. That's true. So did Callie survive also if the illusion plot
Yeah.
starts of getting shot? She would have to.
Yeah, she would have to. My girl.
I don't know if I buy that either.
No, well, ultimately she didn't survive because she was in the upside down.
Oh, yeah.
You just
Yeah.
didn't see her. There's so many things happening off scene. She just walked down the same thing Elle did. You just
Yeah.
didn't see her.
Well, she had to be far enough away so she could use her powers if that was the case.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
who knows? Maybe Elle.
Not for nothing. That's a pretty long distance for her to use her powers, though.
Yeah.
It's
like
what?
She's far enough away that the devices didn't affect her, but close enough that she could create this illusion.
Yes.
I know. Yeah, I know. So many reasons it doesn't
Not
work.
impossible. But yeah, impossible.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm storing some of these to get to it when we get to the Fletcher, when we get to that scene. And this was from Amy's from before. They psyched us out to think our boy Steve was going to die. They did.
He should have totally died.
I look, I know people are complaining and kind of disagreeing of some people say like nobody needs to die for it to be good finale and people expect people to die. I really don't care one way or another. I personally prefer happy endings usually.
Yeah.
I just want it to be a good written ending.
But people have been like, oh my God, Steve died. Oh, holy shit. So you died.
Yeah, either way, it needs to be written well.
Yes, that's true.
She told Hopper to trust her, then goes and did all this at the end. It made no sense. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of it that just is so out of it. I did like how they played the music to blow it up.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. And I like the music that they used.
It cost a lot of money. That's probably like a third of their budget.
Yeah, they probably did pay a lot for it. And then they're screaming as Elle is going to sacrifice himself.
But nobody's running up there. Why aren't any government people running up there and trying to get 11?
I know that's the thing that's weird is like they're trying to stop everybody else from running up there, but not one of them tried. And if they wanted her so bad, why weren't they? That is a very good question, Scarlet. She told Hopper to trust her to make the right choice. So whatever choice she made, it wouldn't have been the choice he wanted. Yeah. I mean, look, I kind of feel like after they had that conversation, I already assumed that that was what she was planning. Otherwise, she wouldn't have said that. You're right. Okay, let's see. Fletcher says, did the military need Callie to use that kryptonite machine to stop 11's powers? They don't have Callie in that scene. I didn't take it that way. I think the machine stopped Callie's powers as well. Isn't that how you guys took it?
That's what I thought, but maybe not.
I get what he's saying. Like maybe she was using the power of the machines, but I never took it that way, Fletcher. So I didn't see it that way. Thank you, Dieter. Yes, everyone, since I'm always bad to remember to say it, please like the video, hype it if you can, subscribe to Sci-Fi-Vision, and don't forget to join our Discord. I will, when we're done here, I will add a comment to the other video and tell the person who won our contest as well that they won.
Oh,
but I'm going to wait until we're done here and then we'll do that. All right. I lost where I was at. Okay. The fake out deaths get old. That's why people gave the Duffer shit, because it's like kill people or don't stop with fake outs. To be fair though, I feel like fake outs like that are kind of prevalent in 80s movies. Is that just me?
True.
So
not like that.
I kind of think that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So it goes kaboom. Kaboom, kaboom. There it goes.
Oh my God. I definitely got to leave before Karen gets here.
Oh God.
The Steelers just won the game.
Oh yeah, that's good. No, I want to say that's good. That's good. That's good.
I have no skin in the game.
No, it's funny because the Steelers took the lead and missed the extra point. and it was like, oh crap. And then Baltimore just drove downfield, so they're only 2 points behind now, and they just missed the field goal.
Well, I'm glad if Steelers won. Not that
I'm glad the Steelers won. I just don't want to be here for Karen's wrath.
Yeah, Karen's not going to be happy.
Gonna go hide.
I think it's funny.
I've hated. I hate Baltimore on two fronts. One, I'm a Steelers fan. Two, I still can't get over Baltimore. I'm still salty from when Baltimore beat the Giants in the Super Bowl.
All right, fair. But I didn't realize you were a Steeler fan, though. But that's good. I just knew you were.
How many times do I have to tell you and Karen this?
I don't listen. I don't follow it that close to begin with. So.
I became a Steelers fan back in the early 80s because of Mean Joe Green crushing soda cans. And then I started watching football. But because of the time that we lived in, there was no streaming services. I couldn't watch a lot of Steelers games. I saw like 2 Steelers games every year. So my grandfather watched the Giants, so I became a Giants fan. But as things advanced and I could watch more football, I kept following the Steelers.
Fair enough.
So I like the Giants and the Steelers. And I've always said my dream Super Bowl is the Giants versus Steelers, which for anybody watching me in that scenario, it would be really funny because I wouldn't know who to root for.
I was gonna say, who do you want to win? I guess you gotta
exactly. It'd be a mess.
Yeah. Well, I do like the Steelers, but I do not follow football. That I'll watch them if they're in the Super Bowl or the playoffs. That's pretty much when I watch it. Let's see. Fletcher says, I saw some wild theory mentioning Mike's style in the end mirrors Henry's career's
yeah, with the glasses and stuff.
Hair and glasses exactly looking the same. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
But he also kind of looks like his dad as well. Yeah. Like he's just getting older.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. There's something other set up here too. Oh, Fletcher said, "What about?"
I was just looking for that same question.
Yeah.
What about her, Fletcher? She was awesome. That was
awesome. She was awesome. Which reminds me, I did not get. I forgot to go back and get a screen capture at the very end. Scarlet. I don't think I got.
Oh yeah, how about the scars? The scars.
You know what else? I don't know if they've mentioned anything about her. Like, since everybody from the writers and everybody are like giving all this information out, if they said anything about what their goal with Nancy was, but something else, like not only like I definitely, because Linda Hamilton, that's why I got the Terminator vibes, but she also kept reminding me. I felt like anybody that's ever seen the original Red Dawn, I kept getting like Red Dawn vibes from her. I felt that was very prevalent too.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, season 2.
Oh,
Ted, no one cares.
Karen, I think Karen just. Karen just texted.
That was me.
No, it was you.
That was me. You can read it. That was me.
Well, of course I can read it. It's in our text chat.
No, I didn't mean it that way. Let's see. Fletcher says, also, I love them mirroring the pilot episode with Karen calling Joyce, asking for Mike, mirroring Joyce calling Karen when Will disappeared. The whole D&D campaign in the basement. I like the D&D campaign and everything.
Yeah. You know what else I kind of like? I did like when Holly and her friends rushed past Mike to go play.
Yeah. No, it was cool. It's the new group. Hi, Carl. So let's see. Ted Wheeler getting.
And you know what? That's actually funny because poor Karen, she's got these terrible scars on her and everything, and everything. Ted looks like he just took a nap.
Yeah.
And Ted got blasted in the chest.
Ted. No one cared about Ted. Yeah,
they never even showed Ted once in the hospital. They were in separate rooms. You'd think they would have had them in the same room or something.
They were also supposed to be in the same year of high school in the play, so that's also weird.
Stranger ER things, Holly's Revenge.
Yeah. You know what? Look, I have given up with the ages. These people don't know about what they're doing with ages, so I just forget it. It's fine.
That's why it's Mike's dream.
Actually, it isn't, because Ted was actually the popular sports dude in high school. That's true. When he was younger, he was. Yeah.
Really? Ted was Steve, like there's Steve
Yeah.
Harrington? Oof, he aged poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I guess.
That's kind of what makes it funny. All right. So back after in the right side up, whatever you want to call it, the normal world, they are rebuilding Hawkins. You know, all the military are gone. Robin's talking about how great it is and how her friends are graduating. Go watch them or something to that effect. Because yeah, it's graduation day. She does say that Steve isn't there with her, but he has a reason. It's because he's coaching. Is that little whatever it is, the sport.
Well, he's a teacher at the school, so he's coaching.
Okay, that's right. I forgot he was a teacher too, but he's a coach there, and also Derek there, who looks up to him now.
He's helping delightful Derek.
So we get a lot of different scenes. This is, like I said, my pet peeve. All these scenes that were totally unnecessary. We have Max and Lucas who talk. And then
even though she was in a coma, she skateboards fine now, no problems whatsoever.
Yeah,
she wasn't in a coma. She was never in a coma. She was stuck in Vecna's head.
Well, but she was to the outside world in a coma.
But she was also damaged and hurt before that.
She was. But the point is, with all that, either way, she can't. How did she graduate on time with them when they were already in the last year of school?
They're all geniuses.
Yeah, doesn't make sense.
Not for nothing. They didn't go to school any more than she did.
Yeah, that's true.
That's very fair. But yeah, there was a lot.
Max was floating with Pennywise.
Yeah. Yeah. Meanwhile, Dustin is valedictorian. His mother's taking
that smile, man.
Yeah, great. I love it.
That mirrors like the first part of like season 1.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. They mirror a lot of book ending.
Okay, let's see. So there's Will. He's gonna, or not Will. Mike's gonna graduate. I'm reading these. Let's see. It's Dustin Munson. Yeah, he's definitely, or though I'm assuming that you might mean the, now that I thought about it, probably means the speech, not that. Let's see.
I love the wallpaper.
Yeah, crazy heavy wallpaper. All right, so this is, I think, where she says that Will's not there and he's going to go talk to him, but she's, not Will's not Mike? There. Mike's not there. I was going to say, I'm like, wait, Will's right there. I was sorry. He goes to talk to Mike. Also, I did want to bring up, I had started before because we weren't to that point. Amy had said Hopper being dad to Joyce's kids was cool to see. I agree. I like that he's all in. He's all in. So I appreciated that. And crap. I talked about Susie. I can't get I unstarted. I couldn't get it off until I did that. All right. So they have their talk. And this is where he says that, he can't blame himself and blah, blah, blah. Look, I feel like this whole scene, the whole point, in my opinion, for this scene was to say that Hopper has moved on and gotten over what happened with his daughter, which that is good. But the fact that he's over Elle so quick, I don't really buy.
It's a tough dude.
Me either. I don't buy it either.
But he's telling Mike, she made her choice, yada, yada, heart to heart. And it was a good scene. I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm, just going through it because I can't remember exactly what they said, but it was a good scene. But yeah, I don't know that I totally buy Hopper is moving on. And then we get the graduation. Karen is on her way home. She's probably not going to make it. I don't know. We'll see.
Depends on where the bar is.
Yeah. V says, I honestly didn't think he was over Elle. He was putting on a tough face.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. But I feel like it was to tell us that he was, maybe just to tell us he was going to be okay, I guess. Mm-hmm. Fletcher said, I think it's this Hopper's conversation might create that illusion plot. That's Mike's way of acceptance. It is Mike's way of acceptance. I like that and hadn't really thought about it. I'll put up the theories you guys are posting at the end. I was waiting till we get there. There's Karen and no one cares Ted.
all her scars.
Yeah, with all her scars, which are very, very obvious. And they're having their graduation, and she does see that Mike shows up finally. Hold on, so I'm doing this. I'm trying to trying to get a file open here. I was going to see if I could. I probably can't. I don't know. I don't think I can get it. I was going to try, but I don't think I can. Okay. Anyway, so she's happy because Mike has decided to come to the graduation. And then we get Justin giving his speech. And this is, I think, where I lost the thing, but where Fletcher was saying he's like Eddie. What Eddie would have done. I agree with that. I agree with that. I liked his speech. Look, they all gave too many speeches. I do think that Dustin's was the one that was worth it. Yeah, it was a good speech. It was funny. I liked that. Let's see what else. Yeah. And there's Hopper and Joyce. And there's Jonathan with his camera because he's filming the graduation. And there's Steve and Robin. And
it's funny that Steve's a teacher because he's got the haircut of a used car salesman.
He does. They have to keep the hair. They can't get rid of the hair, man. You can't do that. I totally agree and thought the same thing. Orange.
Yeah, I agree. I was not loving that.
That's like the theory that they're all in prison somewhere, like prison by Vietnam, because they're all wearing like prison orange.
I don't know about that. But you know what I question? I'm guessing from this that their colors are orange and green, right?
No, they're yellow. They're yellow and green, aren't they?
Oh, are they?
I thought they were yellow and green or yellow and blue.
Well, they're orange and green now.
That doesn't make any sense. Oh my god, it's a different universe.
I don't know.
They're all. This is all a dream. They're in Vecna's.
Yeah, they're all.
They're in the Mind Flayers.
My point was, out of all that, if the colors were orange and green, why not make the gowns green? Like, give these kids a break, right?
They were also the same color, I guess, in Henry's timeline too. The first shadow.
Vecna prison.
Yeah, Fletcher says they're all sitting like Henry used to sit.
They're all sitting like Henry used to sit. That's a good spot.
I'm not sure. You mean here?
How did Henry? Wait, hold on. How did Henry sit a certain way?
Henry stood with his hands in front of him, like in front of his junk, kind of folded.
Okay, that's not sitting though. That's standing.
Well, it's also they get their hands folded in front of their junk when they're sitting down in this one too.
Okay.
Oh, that's a little bit of a stretch for me. I agree, though. The ending's so terrible. Anybody can literally make their own interpretation. I agree. Yeah. That's the way you do it.
You might as well
choose your own ending. All right.
Yeah, choose your own adventure. That's very easy.
We'll have to see. Leo says Winona's thinking about Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I was going to say.
Moving on.
About in this moment. That's funny. Everyone needs to cover their junk. Yes, they all need to cover their junk.
Yes, you need to cover your junk.
All right. So
very
here's Dustin flipping off the principal. He has given his Eddie speech, whatever. And I mean, yeah, it was great. I liked it. And then Erica is although why she's dressed up like that is beyond me, but she's sending off the confetti. I don't know.
You know what? I forgot to mention it before. After they go through the rift, why did Erica and the teacher stay behind in the tower for so long?
I don't know, unless they just didn't want them there in danger, or it was
no. I don't have a problem with them not going to the Upside Down, but why didn't they go back to the radio station? Why were they still they were hanging out in the tower just bullshitting?
They were. That's a good question, AJ. I don't have an answer for that.
I wasn't looking for an answer. I was just
Yeah, I know. B says it looks like an 80s tap dance costume.
Were they always the Tigers? I thought there was something else.
Yeah, I don't know. They're the Tigers now.
Explains the orange, I guess.
Yeah, they're the Tigers now. But I don't know. Was she supposed to be doing the confetti? Because I got the opinion that she was sneaking and doing it. But then
I thought she was sneaking and doing it too. Like she was making her garage.
Yeah, but I don't see what was wrong with having confetti, so I missed something.
Because there's good chaos and there's bad chaos, which would be evil chaos, really, if you did D&D. And this is good chaos.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
was listening to the speech.
Yeah, I don't know, Amy. The
Chaos.
Raven is looking around. Let's see. Erica is another character that works better as a background character.
Dare you?
I kind of
I don't
actually
think she had too much. I think she had just enough.
I like her.
Until when it took forever for her to show up this season, when she finally did, I was like, there she is.
Episode 3, she does.
I was missing. I was
loved
missing
her.
some Erica.
Yeah,
She
I
was
like
so funny. She was so funny in episodes 3 and 4. I can't deny it that she was good. I mean, there is a mistake of them making the minor characters better, so they should have been working on the
Fletcher's
major
got it.
characters.
Erica should be facing off against Pennywise, bullying the clown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Win.
Whoops, took it off. Looks like they're about to go get glamour shots. Well, hey, that's in the 80s too, right?
That's the
There you go.
Yeah.
For Erica over Ronnie. What just happened to my video here? Sorry. Just the heck? Okay, sorry. I don't know. My video went weird. I always have it open in oh, I see it suddenly went to an ad. Weird. I don't know why that did that. Okay. Now I lost where I was at. Sorry about that. Okay, so anyway, she's making the confetti, and there it is at the graduation, and they're all like, we're done it. And then there's a scene where the girls are kind of flirting with them. I don't know, maybe they know they saved the world, who knows. And invite them to a party, and they're all like,
that's a very 80s trope at the end, Jimmy, where they're like, they're the nerds, and the cool girl comes and invites them to a party or wants to date them. That's a very tropey thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But they don't want to go to the party.
Yeah, true. And yes, I was looking. Yes, I appreciate all the likes. Thanks, guys. All right, so now they're on their roof having their conversation about. Oh, okay. Fletcher says that was a throwback to season 1 because Dustin tried to ask.
Yeah, you didn't realize that?
No, I didn't. I didn't remember who she was. We didn't get to see. They were talking earlier that we didn't. Oh, I lost the comment now here, but that we didn't get to see Susie on Susie Poo.
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah, she. Look, there was so much extra stuff in this episode. I don't know that we needed more. But yeah, I mean, Susie was funny. I just don't know that they could have fit that into. They already had enough extra bloat, in my opinion. But yeah, I liked Susie. All right, so they are meeting on the rooftop, and they are discussing how. Oh, okay, Fletcher says they confirmed that Dustin.
A lot of off-screen shit.
A lot of off-screen shit.
Yeah.
That is the problem with the show.
Yeah.
But they're meeting on the rooftop, agreeing that. Why am I getting messages now? Agreeing that they are going to meet up every month to see each other again because they don't want to lose their friendship. And they kind of complain a bit about their lives and their significant others. So Jonathan is taking a film classes. Nancy has quit school to become a journalist.
That's
Robin,
crazy.
I don't know what the hell Robin's doing. I don't remember. And Steve,
She says nothing.
Nancy's got that no nonsense haircut going on now. She got that business vibe.
But wasn't the whole big deal about college earlier, and then she just drops out? Like when Jonathan would have tried really hard to get into her college, and then she's like, just dropped out.
Yep.
Sorry, dude.
Well, she finally made her own decision, I guess is the point. When excuse me, I agree, Fletcher. When they don't have an answer, they just say off screen. I'm more annoyed that I'm still more annoyed about the fact that like I said earlier, that they're saying that the conversation Elle had with Mike Mike in his head
in the void.
happen.
Yeah.
And I agree. If the machines were on, it couldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Which I just figured was sloppy writing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand, why put it in then? I don't know. That just irritates me.
But the problem with it is they act like it's so obvious. Like any casual viewer would figure this out. And I didn't figure it out. And I watched it a few times.
Fletcher says they should have acknowledged it because it actually makes sense for Dustin to break up with her since he was grieving Eddie. Yeah, they could have added it and said it really. Hold on one second. And said it really quickly. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I mean, look, there's things like that they could have added in that were like one line. It wouldn't have been too difficult, but They didn't.
I think they probably forgot about her until
They
people
probably
started asking, and they went,
They're
"Oh
like,
shit!"
yeah,
So
that
they're
girl,
like,
yeah,
what
okay.
do we do now? Karen is on her way. She should be here in a couple minutes, and then I will fix her little video thingy. We'll have to do tech support again. So then they have the conversation also about Steve wanting nuggets. I did think those conversations about Steve and that were funny, and them saying he says he's in love with every girl, and kind of there. I thought that was cute, but I don't know. They didn't really say much about what was going on with Robin. Yep, you're right. They could have just said Steve could have just made fun and said that's why Susie broke up with you. I agree. One line doesn't take much.
Again, Duffers forgot about her and went, "Oh shit."
I totally agree. So I tried to get a picture of everybody here, but yeah, this is their we miss each other, we want to still be friends, yada yada yada, and drinking to it. And then we get to the dinner scene. Oh, here's that. I thought I had lost this. I'm sorry. This was from before B had said it was pointed out that Dustin's speech was what Eddie said he wanted to do when he graduated. Mm-hmm. Good to know. There's Karen.
Oh, that's my cue.
Oh, come on. Don't keep me. Okay, I'll have the thing for Karen and I'll move it. I'll have to move it once she puts herself on and fix it. All right. So
hello.
Yeah, hello. Are you on stage and I got to fix it?
Yeah, I'm on stage.
Okay,
yeah,
hold on.
I just don't have my camera open while I get myself settled.
That is weird.
Okay.
You made it for the last 2 minutes.
Oh, sorry. Are you guys done?
No. Well, she can tell us what she thought. We still got
AJ's last 2 minutes.
AJ thinks you're going to be yelling about the game. He's hey, I'm happy Steelers won, so
all I have to say about football is pitchers and catchers report in 7 weeks. And before that, I get the Olympics before that. So that's all.
I might be a Baltimore fan this year. You guys have put together quite the team.
Yeah. The only person who can beat Baltimore is ourselves.
I know what that's like. I've been a Mets fan my whole life.
No, Steelers just did.
Yes. Yes. Also, I got in an argument with some guy at the bar.
That's unusual.
It is. I mean, he was kind of a dick. He was a lawyer, so what do I expect, right?
Oh.
And he was kind of, yeah. Anyway, here I am. I'm here.
Okay. You're not on camera. Is that on purpose?
I'll be on camera 1 second. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't something I did.
No, I'm getting all the crap off my couch so you don't see it in the background when I sit down.
I'm just going to put up Leo's comment here. Robin fans get mad at me, but she should have just been a one-season character. She was, whoops, I didn't. That is not Robin. Sorry. She was just good in 3, not 4 or 5. I like Robin. I don't know about that.
Leo, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of you right now, Leo. Robin was like the best part of this entire season.
Say something else about Erica.
Robin's
I like Robin.
I get it though. She's a comic relief character who probably was kept around only to have a conversation with Will to encourage him to come out. Probably why she's there.
But she was great. I really liked her. She's great.
I mean, she didn't contribute anything strategically. Every plan, she was a little bit, she was always like, I thought that was the easy part. I get it. I can see why.
You're the one who unlocked Will's superpowers. You're kind of right, Fletcher.
I can see why someone would say that she was a little.
So, Karen, before we go through, we're at the scene where Hopper is going to dinner with them. Hello. But why don't you first tell us what you thought and, some of your gripes, which I'm sure you have. Best ending ever, right, Karen?
I hold on. I promise this has nothing to do with Karen, but I do have to go.
Okay.
All right. Bye, AJ.
Bye.
AJ's got to work tomorrow.
Good night, everybody.
Bye,
this was fun.
Bye.
Probably doesn't want to talk about the last part either.
I mostly feel exhausted. I feel like there was too much Stranger Things. I feel like season 5 was too long. It was kind of bloated. I've said before, I think they could delivered all of this in 4 episodes. I think they might have at one point planned like 4 like 2-hour movies or 6. It just felt really like overstuffed and bloated with a lot of stuff that didn't. And I feel kind of exhausted having to watch these massive amounts of content like a week apart, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. I don't like the way they delivered it. I like some parts of this last episode. I was very disappointed in some parts of this last episode. And overall, it left me feeling about Stranger Things as it's unfortunate that season 5 is making me feel like God is finally over when there was so much to like over like the last 5 seasons, right? But it just, I got to agree with Leo Letty. They added too many characters. The Duffer Brothers are known to really not be willing to kill any major character pretty much ever. And then they kept adding more people. Like any normal show, like a lot of shows would be killing off people all season long, right? And like cutting it down
like
to
Yellow
the main
Jackets.
characters. And they just never really killed. There's like one death a season, and it was always like what I really object to was herself. And then her choice is totally undone by boys. Wait, let's go to Leo Letty.
Okay, Karen,
my point is that the Duffers added too many characters and took away from the main cast.
Yeah, I don't hate.
Hang on, I'm going to close everything except.
Yeah, but I like all those minor characters.
Yeah, I do.
I wasn't invested in the major ones though.
No, I get feeling like that though. You back, Karen? I know you were frozen a little bit. I think Karen's frozen. No, she moved.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think. Yeah, I'm trying to close.
Yeah, because you keep freezing.
I'm trying to close everything here.
Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello. I can hear you talk.
Yeah, I really. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? Oh,
Yeah,
I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed about how the boys, like how the show had to undo. They kind of undid Elle's sacrifice. Like she chooses to sacrifice herself, and then we're told, "Oh, maybe she really did it. Maybe she's off living somewhere." And I feel like that's the Duffer Brothers being unwilling to allow this to kill the character. We know that the spinoff is not Elle. We know, right?
Yeah.
I just feel like I really was very disappointed that they chose to let to have her decision and her sacrifice be undermined and be not a sacrifice at all in the end. I mean, if you believe it, it was just speculation. Like we don't really know. And do I believe that Callie had the strength to pull off that level of illusion at the end? Maybe not. But I just I just don't really like that.
She was way dead.
What I've been saying though is I'm more than I disliked the ending. I was annoyed with like the 40 minutes of crap in between. I think there was too much.
She didn't like the CW
everything up and giving the happy. I mean, it's not that I didn't like them being happy. I just it was. I don't know. I just felt like it was too much sappy stuff that they didn't need. So I don't know. Let's see. Fletcher says the spinoff is not Elle, agreed, but you know that if they bring Millie Bobby Brown in the future, that will make them huge money. Yes. I would place on the Doctor doing something with 11 within 10 years, maybe not Return in Hawkins, but she's alive. I mean, yeah, I think that's more of like a, how much is Netflix trying to, suck more money.
I mean, I think it depends on where Millie Bobby Brown's career goes in the next 10 years. And she has not really made a smash hit movie. She's made some movies, right?
Enola Holmes is pretty smashing.
Now,
Enola Holmes.
Oh, was it? I didn't see it. I had no interest in that.
Okay, it was pretty big.
Yeah, I think it did pretty good, but her other ones maybe not.
And now she's got a baby, so she might have a different plan for her life. So, I read a rumor that Netflix wanted to leave it open for Elle to come back, so they rewrote it, but I don't know how true that is. It's believable, right? Netflix has driven a lot of this. Like Netflix has thrown money at the Duffer Brothers to keep them making this longer and more bloated all the time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that the Duffer Brothers on record saying the spinoff is not Hopper, and it's not the young kids. It's not Holly and the next generation, and it's a new story. But
I don't know. All I can say is there was something about a spinoff that was deleted. There was like a press release.
Well, then they had that animated Tales from 1985 too, which is in between seasons 2 and 3.
I mean, they've given interviews saying they're talking about a spinoff, and they said I think it was they've told multiple outlets it's not Hopper, it's not Holly and the gang, but there's
they had rumors about Will and Nancy.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what this. I was looking to see. Oh, that has to do with something else, I guess. Never mind. That wasn't the name of the spinoff.
I know you want to resume recapping. I was very disappointed over last week's episode and this week's episode. I'm very disappointed in the Abyss / Dimension X. I found it was really not imaginative. It just looked like a dead, dry desert. It could have been any number of dry, arid planets we've seen. It was not a very imaginative, I thought, considering that the Upside Down was so imaginative and cool, and it turns out just to be a wormhole. Like, I don't even understand why, if the wormhole is a tunnel connecting dimensions, why is the wormhole a total duplicate of Hawkins, Bizarro World Hawkins, and then the other dimension has really nothing in common with, like I was like, oh, maybe that's a vine planet, and that's why the vines and but no, it was just like this cheap CGI background, right?
I agree, and I still think that they had no intention of doing that, and they just added that on to give another season. I don't think that was ever.
They wrote a whole. I don't know, and I thought the Spider Mind Flayer thing was. I was disappointed they didn't really introduce any new. You know, there was the Demo Dogs, there was the Demogorgon, there were like a series of interesting, and then they just kind of hit a stopping point in season 4 and didn't like introduce anything new with the bat. They were the demo bats, I guess. But I don't know. I felt like they stagnated a little bit in terms of the. I did like some. I mean, overall, I liked Holly. I object to like. The age, we've talked a lot about the aging, and I think, I kind of object to Holly being like a 13-year-old actress playing a 7-year-old, somewhere between 7 and 10. But in general, I like that actress who plays that role. I think she's a good find. I think that this show was always at its best when the crew was younger. It was magical almost in season 1 with the cast, and they did well with Derek and Holly. And I think that this show was always better with the younger characters. And I enjoyed that. Did I love the whole storyline of the dialogue? No. Did I kind of like those kids and where that was going? Yes.
Yeah. I do agree with what you're saying, Fletcher, in the sense that it does look like the Dimension X, whatever, mirrors it. My point was, if it's supposed to mirror it, like, why was there never anything said about it? Like, I feel like it more paralleled it in a visual thing, but like it was not brought in as, being something, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And the cave is like a legit place on Earth where Henry was. That's a memory. The cave's a memory, right? Yeah. And then somehow this barren desert planet.
Like, why does it look like it? And I get he's saying, well, maybe it's from the future, but like that wasn't in there. So I guess it's just you find out maybe in a spinoff.
Yeah.
Holly fell in the same place where she was with Max, finding Henry's trauma spot. And while she ran away from Vecna and fell into the Upside Down, it's the same spot. Well, that's, I assume, where they connected.
I got to read that more. I don't understand that. Pilgrim was like, Holly fell in the same place when she was Max fighting Henry's trauma spot. And when she ran away from Vecna and fell in the Upside Down, I think that
that's because we're all connected in the same location, right?
Yeah.
I sent you a map, Jamie.
Yeah, but that was something AI made. I don't know how accurate that is. But yes, when she fell down the hole of the mind is the same place she crawled through into the upside down from the Dimension X. I get what he's saying, but I think like visually it makes sense, and I think it's where they were all connected. But and I get he's saying that's the future cave location. But the thing is if it is, it wasn't in the show, so it's something that like it's like we don't know. We don't know.
I mean, I get Fletch, your theory that it's a future, that the Dimension X is Earth in the future, where I guess I don't understand why the Earth turned into a desert, but whatever. But I kind of like it, and I like what you've put into it, but it's I haven't seen the stage play. I'm thinking, Fletch, that it's your theory and your speculation that it is pretty developed, and I like it. But Jamie, like as Jamie says, I don't know that I saw it in the screen that.
Yeah, and since the show's over, it's like we're never going to know unless it's in a spinoff, and then you could be right, and we'll be like, "Oh, Fletcher was so smart," or maybe they read Fletcher's comment and stole it. Who knows? But I mean, because it's done, it's kind of like it's hard to.
So, Karen, why do you think Fechner chose 12 kids? I don't know why he chose 12 kids. I think it was 6 more than were needed because, like, I'm not sure.
It's because of the clock, isn't it? Like the clock.
Well, the clock is 12. Yeah. I mean,
and I guess that's why the Mind Flayer had 12 legs. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Why? Because the Duffers wrote it. I mean, I'm not sure all those kids were named characters, or they all spoke, or I could even tell them
12,
apart.
12
right?
people at Last Supper. Lots of 12s. 12.
There are lots of 12s.
I still don't get that's the future cave location, not Henry's memory. I mean, it was Henry's memory of how he was infected, right?
Yes, but I think he's saying that the desert is also the future. It's kind of the same thing. But yeah, it's a theory. I mean, who knows? We probably will never know unless it's in a spinoff. That's my point. But no, it's a cool theory.
One thing I also didn't really care for this season, and I've mentioned this to you guys last week, I didn't really need the backstory of how like Henry got his power. Like I was okay with dark magic as a theory, and I kind of liked it better. I said this last week when it was kind of D&D focused on dark magic and sorcery, and when it became a wormhole, and when it became like somehow Henry. Also, when Henry opened that suitcase, where we all like, "Don't touch it, dumbass," and he immediately touches it, right? Yeah. And I just like I was not craving the whole backstory. Like I think they could have cut a couple hours out of this season without but I understand there are probably viewers who wanted that level of detail, and I guess they were trying to tie it to the stage play also, right?
Yeah. B said, honestly, the bitch just looked like one of those lazy Star Trek planets. And I was distracted by it.
I agree. I thought the battle with the Mind Flayer / Spider, whatever that was, I thought that was a little
short,
boring, not that exciting,
uneventful.
Not that
exciting. I don't know if it was boring to me. To me, it was just so short compared to all the rest of the crap that we had to wait.
And not shot that well, and not that exciting. Another thing I didn't like. Joyce being the one to finally kill Vecna. I'm sorry, it should have been Will. Joyce has been, first of all, they pretty much sidelined Winona Ryder for the season, right? And then why she is the one, and she's having these flashes of Barb and Eddie, and it was great for us. Emotionally, as the audience, that was great. For Joyce, it made no sense. And I just really felt it should have been Will to finally kill Hen.
Maybe she put it in her contract. You have to let me kill a character or something.
No, I mean, I don't think so. I think it was just.
I'm kidding, Karen. I'm not serious.
I just don't think it was a good choice the Duffers made.
I agree.
Right?
It wasn't a great choice. Fletcher also said I liked it more when it was just D&D, and yes, his love of From is what's making him deep dive. I think so much. Leo said Vecna was awesome in season 4, but they screwed him up in season 5. Derek telling him to suck a fat one takes all the stakes away when nobody's scared anymore.
Yep.
But V also said, as a mom, it made sense to me. She would want to chop that arsehole's head off. That's true.
I get it, but could she finally back off and let her son do the thing he needs to do?
I didn't have the moment, right?
Absolutely not.
Well, maybe she should have. I just wanted to add before I forget, because I brought this up here so I could look at it since people were talking about it. The spin-off cartoon, whatever you want to call it, animation, is called Tales from 85, and the log line is Welcome Back to Hawkins in the stark winter of 1985, where the original characters must fight new monsters and unravel a paranormal mystery terrorizing their town in Stranger Things Tales from 85, an epic new animated series. It is not, well, no, I guess the Duffer Brothers are executive producing it as well, but it's not only executive produced by them. I don't know if this one is. But yeah, that's the animated spinoff, so it is going to be about the same character. So I'm a little confused by that. Maybe,
but different people doing the voices.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe there's a different one. I don't know. Yeah. Do you know if the animated characters will have the same voice? Oh, okay.
No, they will not.
Okay.
It will be weird, but they are not, because they don't.
I was gonna say, I don't know. I'm just going by press release on the press side. I have no clue.
Can we please take this comment from Golden Child? It was to redeem all 80s parents. Tonight, when I was out at the restaurant watching football, we talked about this, and my friend told me he read a theory somewhere online that Generation X loves this ending more, and like the younger generations don't like the ending as much. And the theory is that Generation X, we were given so much more freedom from our parents than but we always knew we could count on our parents to come and help us when we needed it. And that's why we saw Karen Wheeler come to defend Holly. That's why we see Joyce do this at the end. I don't know that I buy that, because
I don't know. We're all old and we don't like the ending. So
that's interesting. It's interesting.
No, it is.
I'm in Generation X for sure. Jamie comes at the tail end. Scarlet comes at the tail end, I think, of Generation X.
Generation X. Okay. Yeah,
in terms of like Generation X, people were saying
in the
discussion boards that the older Xers like this ending, and that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was meaning.
Oh, it's like the Ewoks.
Yeah.
Generation. Nope, I'm not Generation.
The younger
X.
people like the Ewoks, but the older people did not like the Ewoks.
Yeah.
That's divided.
It must have been right after Generation X.
Yeah.
Which is 65 to 80. So
yeah,
you're Generation X.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't love the ending, regardless of what generation I'm from. I did not love the ending.
So I told you while you were recapping, did you enjoy Hopper and Joyce getting engaged in Enzo's?
Yeah, we were getting to that part. I did like this, but I'm a sap, so I like the sap. The rest of the stuff I didn't need as much, but I did like this. I thought it was cute. I don't know. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't end with them getting married.
Yeah,
that like coming out of a church. But everybody's there in town, not only for the graduation but for their wedding.
Yeah,
I liked that they're in Enzo's. Season 4, such a big part of the story was someday we're going to eat at Enzo's. I like that they're in Enzo's, and they seem to be regulars at Enzo's. Like the waiter knows them both by name, right?
Yeah, that's true. Well, we don't know if Vicky and Robin ever got to Enzo's though.
No, but
where's Vicky?
Still in therapy.
Probably.
I mean, I like them getting engaged, particularly since I complained earlier this season that I felt their relationship was really backburnered and they in the friend zone. And so I liked seeing this. And you probably talked about Montauk. There's a shout out to Montauk here, right?
Yes, we did.
And Fletcher said I like the little Montauk chief officer.
That seems like a spinoff. If there was any kind of spinoff,
that spinoff I would watch, and that would be good.
Except the Duffers have said that is not the spinoff.
Yeah, I know.
But to be fair, them saying that's not the spinoff, that doesn't mean later on they might not decide they're making more spinoffs. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a good thing. I'm just saying that could happen.
I don't think you can tie up David Harbour for another 10 years for your spinoff.
No, it would have to be. Probably.
First of all, he's in the Marvel universe, and second of all, it's going to take them like 15 years to complete this project, right? And like he'll be like,
he'll probably be in his 80s. But
the counterpoint is how many actors aren't in the Marvel universe at this point.
Well, yeah, it's getting harder and harder to get non-Marvel actors.
And plus, it's all depending on if the Burrow is successful or not, because that's their next project. So if it's successful, probably not. But if not, spinoffs.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I think that this was cute. wasn't really necessarily serious. Maybe not, but I liked it. Him proposing to her. I thought that he was going to make a comment, and we were going to find out when he's talking about the cabin. I thought that he was going to say something about Elle, because as I said earlier, I totally see Elle having to fake her death in order to get away, but I don't think she would have lied to them if she did it. And like, really? I would have rather had that ending. Like
those two routinely get captured by the military of multiple countries. Mm-hmm. Like, why would you tell them anything?
No, I mean, like we could have thought she was dead, and then we find out now, like Hopper knows where she's at. I mean, like I could have seen that.
She wrote him a letter.
Well, no, he's been hiding her again or something. I don't know. I'm just saying I could have seen that.
I would smash my TV. You know, I'm unhappy that they took away Elle's choice from her, but you can't have Elle make this huge sacrifice.
Yeah, make a choice.
And have her also be alive. It can't. Her sacrifice is undermined. Her character development up to that point is completely undermined. Mm-hmm. If you make her make that sacrifice, but also make her not make that sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's true.
Have it both ways.
Yeah.
I gotta take off my sweatshirt. I'm so hot.
Okay. But yeah, so they're gonna whoops.
And I only have one arm. My broken arm.
Oh no.
They're going to move to a nicer, hotter place or whatever because he's got a better job in Montauk, is what that's about. And then he proposes to her. I think it was cute. I very much enjoyed the scene. And thankfully she says yes, and then they dance.
Thankfully. She's like, no.
They dance. All right. And
she's
then
so short. He's so tall and she's so short. She's like 5'1". She's a shorty.
Tiny little thing, but on a rider. Yeah,
she is tiny.
Yeah, she's a lot shorter than him. All right. So now we get to the D&D ending. I saw someone making a joke asking if the Joyce Hopper was a breakup scene like Jonathan and Nancy. Who knows?
Hey, before we take this, can we go back for a second? How did you guys feel? Because I missed you. I don't want you to talk a lot. I just want to hear for a second. How you guys liked the part where the older kids meet on the roof of Squawk and they talk about where they are in life, and then the graduation of the younger kids? How did you guys like either or both of those?
That was my point, that I think it was too long. I don't think we needed all that. I seriously didn't think we needed it all.
It was fine.
It wasn't bad. Yeah.
It was fine.
It was fine. It was adequate. It serves the people that like love the major characters.
Yes.
It got a little Dawson Creeky, a little CWE.
I just think it was a little too much for me. Like, I think it was a little too long. It wasn't that I didn't want to see it. I just think it was too long. And like I said, I didn't even mind that it was long. I more minded that it was long, and like the battle that we were waiting for was like a quarter of that length. That's what irritated me. Like, the whole battle was like 10 minutes, and I'm like, there's 40 minutes of shit after that.
But I can get them all on the roof talking, because it seems like there's these kids and they're going to get together every month, but you know they're not going to. But they're all talking about we should do this thing, and they're not. And I kind of like that.
I liked the part with the older gang better, partly because I thought it was a little weird that we get such specific information about Nancy drops out of Emerson and gets a job with a paper, or Oven goes to Smith. Jonathan goes to NYU. Steve gets this job, right? And we have all this really, that part was really great. And then we have the kids, and it's like, oh yeah, Dustin goes to college, some unnamed college somewhere, and studies what we don't know. And Lucas goes to the movies with Max. That's all he does. We don't learn anything about his future.
They make out.
And they make out. And like I don't know what happens to Will. Where does Will go? And then
he goes to Milwaukee to meet Jeffrey Dahmer in a gay bar.
Oh yeah, he goes to like a big city, which we don't even know what that. Does he go to college? I thought it was New York, but
it's Milwaukee.
It was.
Yeah, it says it's Milwaukee.
Oh, he says
the big city, because Hawkins is a small city. The big city is Milwaukee.
And then Finn Wolfhard Mike wants to be a writer, which is just sort of like, I thought like we got such specific information about the older gang and so vague about the younger kids. And it was a little surprising to me that the key, I don't know, that was just a little weird to me.
I hadn't thought about it that way. But Scarlet, tell what you were telling me that you think they should have done, which I think would have worked a lot better with the credits.
Oh, I was kidding with Jamie, and I said, like
I like
any good 80s film, like Back to School, or these, like, I don't know if Back to School came out in the 80s.
I love Back to School.
But anyway, at the end, they always have these things where it's like they just have a freeze frame of somebody, and they're like, Max and Lucas got married, and to Steve's chagrin, had 6 little nuggets of their own. And then they would show, like, Will, Will was at the trial of Jeffrey Dahmer. When Jeffrey Dahmer hit on him in a bar, he went to the trial, and he got him for life in the jail, and he's a good guy.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me the details, but I like the idea of the credit.
I messaged you all that. Those 2 things.
Did you? I must have missed that one. I didn't see it. I
must
have
just skim my messages.
No, I remember you saying about the credits, but I missed what you.
But then they just, like, it would be kind of funny to do it that way at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't, for whatever reason,
that's such a 80s movie thing to do. Sorry. And they could have done Kay too. Like, Kay got stuck in the Guantanamo Bay for the next 50 years. Like, just something like that. Even know where everybody was.
So Golden Child says they should have done the whole Stand By Me ending where one of them writes a book about their experiences. You know what?
Yeah.
GC, I kind of thought it was going there because when they said, like, Mike wants to be a writer and he's looking at a blank piece of paper, and I thought it could be going there, that at the end when it says, like, at the end when the script says Stranger Things, I thought it was going to say Stranger Things by Mike Wheeler.
It still could have been. It was very Jughead. It was very Jughead Jones from Riverdale.
Yeah.
It was all Mike's idea. This is all a campaign. That's why his mom doesn't have scars at the end.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and wrap it up.
I'm going to do this right now, Fletcher, because at the end it says you can read lie on the back of the pics, but it says X a lie, means Dimension X is a lie. We'll get to it if Jamie.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have to tell me about that one. I was just going to read some of these comments. Fletcher said I was.
It was just a way to run the right time to say it.
No, that's fine. But yes, I think maybe they were going to do that, but I don't know that we needed even that too. They did make a big deal out of it and then drop her. That is true. Whoops, sorry, I clicked it off.
Made a big deal out of who?
Out of Vicky. Yeah, out of their date with Vicky. And then they talk about, people have said that when they're talking about overbearing significant others, that was saying she broke up with Vicky. I don't know. If it is, they did too much stuff off screen,
That's funny because Robin is kind of overbearing also, right?
Yeah, Robin is kind of overbearing. That is true. And then Dieter said, look at that stash. He does have a good stash.
Yeah.
And then let's see, a breakup. Then when they're talking about, is it a breakup? Breakup in such a fancy restaurant would have gone to McDonald's. And that's funny. Let's see. This was about what you were saying about Elle. Was it a sacrifice no matter what, just because she could never go back, so she had to go off and be alone in Iceland, maybe McWedding.
Yeah,
okay, Fletcher was saying about that lie thing. We'll get more to that. Let's see.
Not only lie, but X a lie.
Yeah.
You'll see it in the notebooks. You'll see it.
Okay. Okay. Leo said, I think it would have been interesting if the final scene was in 1994. Mike's at a bar or something. 11 finds him. That could be very 80s, and they make fun of it. That I could have gotten behind. That would have worked.
That's very foreshadow, though. That's very foreshadow when Harper and Joyce are at that bar at the end, and he's going off to Vietnam. Sorry, Karen.
Wait, which one?
Yeah, you lost me.
I was trying to get all my first shadow stuff up when AJ was here. But there was a scene at the end. There was a scene at the end of the play where Joyce and Harper meet up later, and he's going to Vietnam, and it's similar to what Leo described here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They must not have intended this season 5 ending then, maybe, when they did that. I don't know. All right. So they have their proposal. Then we go to this D&D game, and Mike, I forget who's doing it. Mike gives the game a bad ending, and they all get upset. And that's whenever he gives it a good ending and then tells them that he's going to tell their story, but he can't tell the true story of Elle. And that's when he says that that he thinks it's possible that she's alive, because we know that whenever she was standing there before she died, that the speakers were on and she couldn't have used her powers. So, I mean, we kind of talked about this already, that that his idea is that Callie actually used her projection or whatever powers to make them see Elle, and she
Illusion.
actually disappeared, went invisible, and ran off and ended up in a good place. And they're all happy to hear this.
So to me, this might be the least believable part of the whole.
I like the vampire part.
I like that. The part to me that's not believable is that the hot popular girls invited these nerds to a graduation party and they didn't go.
It's very 80s movie ending.
Yeah.
Like with the nerds, and then the cool girl comes up and she's like, "Oh yeah," and they're like, "Yeah." It happens in so many 80s films.
Yeah.
Pretty in Pink being one that I like.
Yeah. I just, what we were saying before, we were talking about Karen, the ending not making tons of sense, and how, I mean, you sort of mentioned this too, like how Callie couldn't have survived to do that. And I don't know, it just irritates me. I think you were here when I said this last, that the Duffer Brothers said in an interview that the whole thing with Elle talking to
Mike in the Void.
Talking to Mike in the Void, that none of that happened because she couldn't have used her power, so it was all in his head. That, to me, one, ruins the ending even more, and two, makes up sense why they would say that.
Like, so obvious.
I mean, they're right if you think about it.
Because the sound thing is blocking her power. So
I mean, I thought that was just sloppy writing, and I would have just put it up to that and been okay with it. But them saying that they didn't have that conversation, what was the point of it then?
Well, unless you believe that she has become so powerful that she can now overcome that thing. But I don't believe that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess she died. That's the ending. The true ending.
Yep.
I don't know.
But they can believe she's alive.
Yeah, they could, but it doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't make tons of sense.
I'm okay with her dying. I wish they would have killed more people. They didn't ever kill anybody, and then they killed Elle, right?
Steve just falls to his death.
Yeah, Leo says,
I love a shot in the Izzo tank.
Yeah, I think two things can be true at once. Once I think 11 faked her death, but Mike is telling his story. We have no idea how she faked her death or where she's at. I could buy that, but I would have liked them to have, I don't know, hinted at something that made sense. I don't know. I just don't like.
You don't like ambiguous endings.
It's all a mess. As we said earlier, this whole episode is a mess.
Whereas I like ambiguous endings. I don't really care.
I don't care that it's ambiguous. I care that it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's true. True that.
Look, I don't mind anything that doesn't make sense if it's emotionally satisfying. Like on the controversy over the lost ending, I love the lost ending because it made me cry. I never cry, and it made me cry a lot. And yeah, there are holes in it, but to me, it was so emotionally satisfying that I'm good with the ending of that show. This, to me, was neither intellectually nor emotionally satisfying.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't like
bad.
I don't know. I just was disappointed.
I think I was just so exhausted from so much Stranger Things that I was like, oh, thank God it's over.
Yeah, maybe. That's true. Amy had said they left it open so you can interpret it as the mind flayer taking over and they're in a dream world. Yeah, and we'll get to the thing about the book at the end too, because it is open that they've left it. Fletcher also said Mike's overall the storyteller makes sense. He'd create that illusion story after Hopper told him to accept her not being there with them. I do agree that this is Mike's way of accepting it. I buy that, and that makes sense. I just don't love the way they did it. It's not so much that they gave it the ambiguous ending, but the way they did it. Golden Child says the whole point of D&D is to use your imagination. That's how the show started and ended. That's fair and true. Now, let's see. B had said, I just have to say that the idea that they aren't going to play D&D anymore because they're growing up is hilarious. My husband in his office running a campaign with his friends right now. Yes. You do not have to be.
This is what I agree with 100%.
I agree. You don't have to.
I started playing D&D after I was. I started playing D&D when I was in college.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's. Yeah. Leo had said earlier season.
That's why I laughed about it too. I had a exact. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I had a exact same reaction. I had a exact same reaction from my boyfriend when we played D&D.
I mean, I honestly, I didn't take it they're not going to play anymore. I took it they're not going to play together for a long time because they're all like scattering. I didn't think that they wouldn't, none of them was ever going to play D&D again. Just these people in this place was not going to happen again or for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was necessarily supposed to be that way. I felt like the whole point of it, okay, is to say, well, give us their little clips of what happened and what they are saying could have happened, whatever. There's the machine.
But people theorized it was giving up childish things. But D&D isn't exactly a childish
Which
thing.
I think is dumb. I like that they had the kind of passing of the torch to the younger kids, but to act like you couldn't do D&D, yeah, that part's a little dumb. I did skip this part where he sees Elle that she goes to, is getting to live her life, and she sees the.
But you didn't take any pictures of like Max and Lucas in the theater or anything like that.
I didn't take all of everything, no, because a lot of them were just kind of little flash things. They're books.
Wait. Can we go to Pelican real quick?
Yeah, I was going to get to it. I was just going.
All right, go ahead.
No, that's okay. I was just getting to the kind of the end of the kids, the younger kids playing it. Yeah. Pelican says
you're not gonna go to the XLI picture.
I will. Let's get some comments. I will. I'm getting there. Okay. I'm getting there. Says no, that's okay. I just don't want to get to some of the comments before we get all the way to the end. Pelican said she didn't die because the producers didn't want to upset the fan base who were on her side. They could have killed off Nancy and Jonathan in the gooey thing. Mm-hmm. The story would have been so much better. At least we would feel something. I mean, I think somebody could have died. I don't think somebody had to die, but I would have been okay with somebody dying. I mean, I love this when it stopped melting just due to plot armor. It was hilarious.
Jonathan and Nancy just fused into like solid matter.
Yep.
And they find them.
I mean,
like Legion or the beginning of the first Shadow.
I feel like when we're watching a show that the writers have demonstrated from early seasons that they do not have the stomach to kill anybody, it lowers the stakes. And I never was afraid of anybody dying, and that made anything scary not really that scary because you could really predict who was going to die and who was going to live, right? It was always going to be the new character who just showed up this season was the one, it was going to be, you always knew Eddie was going to die from the day we met him pretty much, right? Because we knew nobody else could die. And so, and like someone said earlier in the comments, like when Derek says to Henry, suck my fat one, like when the characters are no longer afraid of Henry, then we're no longer afraid of Henry, right? And so in that sense, like that's why I wanted them to kill people, because I wanted the writers to like not be so in love with their characters that they can't kill any of them. Like it's been the end of the world for 3 seasons and like almost nobody ever died.
Yeah.
Unless there are minor characters that just came in.
There were red shirts that came in to die.
Much like Callie just came in at the last second.
I mean, Pelican says, personally, I felt nothing during the so-called death of 11. I wasn't like I was going to cry or be really sad or anything. Right? Look at this one. Jonathan and Nancy's love defies physics.
That's funny. And B added, as for the gooey thing, I was bothered their clothes and hair didn't gel up so solid they couldn't move. My family was annoyed at me for complaining about it.
Or that dust didn't turn into anything. The desk and chair were there the whole time.
No, the chair and the table, they were fine.
Yeah.
Leo said Jonathan should have died in season 4 instead of Eddie. It would have made Will more interesting in 5 and give him a reason to get tougher. Yep, possible. And Pelican also said their love for each other made them break up at the end of the world. Who does that? You're not wrong. You're not wrong there. Okay, let's see. Fletcher had also said the Mind Flayer Dream World also had the plot that Mike and Nancy looked mirror versions of their parents. That was their nightmare, became their parents. I don't know, backing up that theory. Is that to do with the play? I missed that.
No, it's just that if you take pictures of them as they are now at the end and you show a picture of their parents, they look really close. Like what I was saying before with Mike's glasses and his hair.
Okay.
It does kind of look like Henry, but it also looks like his dad because his dad has those big glasses too. and like Nancy's hair and like the way she's dressed and like all of them. They've become their parents. That's what it's saying.
Well, that's I mean, that's what happens.
Yeah, all become their
Yeah. That's kind of funny though. They didn't point it out, but that is funny. Love so strong that the ring got down and proposed to them.
pretty much.
Kind of true. Pelican says they unproposed. Yes, that is a new word. I agree. And Golden Child also said I watched the series Between. It was terribly good because they were killing off so many characters. So yeah, sometimes it can be a good thing. Sometimes it can be a bad thing. I don't know. Sometimes it stresses me out too much, though. I'll be honest. I'm somebody.
Yeah,
that really
Yellow Jackets stressed me out because Yellow Jackets was taking out my favorites. How you do that to me?
Yeah, but that's what we love. Like early seasons of The Walking Dead were like that. Early seasons of Lost were like that. Like when you never knew when a main character might bite it, and it didn't necessarily have to be the season finale for somebody to die until eventually in both those seasons everybody got plot armor in both those shows. But I love a show where anybody could die at any time, right? And this, you know, and this show, they weren't going to do that in the beginning. Like this show was so great when it was a coming of age story, really, in season 1, right?
Yeah.
I think we talked last week that when the Duffer Brothers pitched season 4, the storyline that became seasons 4 and 5, the Duffers pitched as season 4, and Netflix was like, "Here's money, make it 2 seasons, stretch it out. Here's money, right?" And I mean, the Duffer Brothers. Look, I get it. They have a deal with Netflix, and I think wasn't Stranger Things the first thing they ever did? And Netflix,
House of Cards was the first thing they did.
Oh, they worked on House of Cards. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally, and I've said this before, I personally do not think that this idea of the second planet and that the Upside Down was only a bridge. I don't think that was anywhere in their minds when they first created the story. I think it was tacked on because they needed more story, because it feels like it. At least to me, it does. It doesn't feel like something that they teased, that was hinted at, that was foreshadowed. It just popped out of nowhere. That's why I don't love it. So
I agree. It doesn't feel like
it doesn't feel earned.
Nothing about the Upside Down feels like a wormhole until they built this wall that nobody ever noticed before for all these seasons, right? And it became a wormhole. It doesn't really, and I didn't like that. As I've said, I didn't like that it became science instead of magic or fake science or whatever. But I did like this last part that you have on the screen. I liked the part where Mike and his gang go upstairs and the little kids go downstairs, and Mike's like, I don't love the overtness of him shutting the door on this phase of his life. But I do kind of like the idea that they're moving on, and like the younger kids are like taking, getting to this game and taking the space. And I love that the mother, Mrs. Wheeler, is like, come on upstairs for the lasagna, which in season 1, I think had, almost the same scene where they're downstairs, just come out for some pizza or something like that. I liked that particular last thing.
Yeah, I was trying to see if I could get.
And I think the Duffers have said that has been their idea for the ending for a long time. Once it went past season 1.
Yeah, well, that idea. I just think the whole science stuff they added at this point was extra. I was trying to see if I could get a better picture, but I don't have a great picture. I did get a picture.
Oh, get the notebooks. Let's go back to that.
Well, wait, what? The notebook says?
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you meant?
Max, Lucas, Dustin, Will, Mike. So how does that say X is a lie?
It goes down from the X to the A to the. Oh, it's switched around. I don't know. It switched around the picture I saw.
X at LK. X.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it, guys.
No, in the picture I saw, it said X a lie. I don't know. Maybe these were rearranged in that picture.
It might have been somebody trying to make people think something happened that didn't. I don't think there. Let me see if it. Yeah, that's. I'm pressing play on it to see if it changes, but no, that's where he puts it. So I don't know what that was about. I don't know, Scarlet. Maybe Fletcher has a better idea. But I do like
with the still I saw, maybe it was a still from production or something.
I don't know.
I mean, it didn't look like anybody messed with it, so maybe it was something else.
Maybe, but I did want to try to see if I could zoom in. I do agree with what you said, Scarlet. She does not appear to have scars here. So is it that this really is a story of Mike's? I think it's just a production error and that they made a mistake, personally, because they're dumb. That's my opinion.
Or they were just like, look, we're not going to put her through all this makeup and for
a quick scene
for a shot that nobody's going to even notice without. I mean, you have to super zoom in on that.
Yeah,
they're going to put it through makeup or CGI it for nerds who are going to enlarge it and look at it, right?
Yeah. No, I agree. And wait, we had another starred comment. What was it? Okay, this is what Fletcher was saying about that. Apparently the books are shown in 2 different positions, and at the end they switched it so you could read lie. Okay, that's what I was just doing, Fletcher. Sorry, I had your comment starred and I missed it. But they definitely do not spell that now. Whether that was somebody made up or whether there's another shot at some point that was changed, I don't know. But that I could find, that's what I find. So
they were saying that you have to switch Justin and Will's books, and maybe in production they had it changed like that and they took a picture.
Yeah, maybe somebody in production thought it was funny and did it.
I mean, it's a theory. Maybe. All I can find is YouTube and like TikTok, which I'm not going to play right now, right? X is a lie is a.
Yeah, while you're looking at Pelican said, can we confirm that they contradicted the play where Vecna got his redemption arc? Yeah, the play made it. We were talking about this earlier. The play made it seem like he was going to get a redemption arc because the play made it seem like he did not want to do what he did, and then they sort of changed it for the show. So I don't know. That makes me wonder what the point was, and I do think they should have put the play on Netflix if it was going to be such a big deal. Or put it in the theater, or charged people to see it if they wanted, but at least people could have seen it. But the fact that he didn't get a redemption arc does kind of make the play not have as much meaning, and it makes it confusing in a way. I mean, that's what I would say. I don't know, Scarlett. Do you have anything else to add there? Oh, Scarlett disconnected. I don't know what happened, Scarlett.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, for me, I would not wish to see Henry have a redemption arc. Like, I don't like. There's that moment in the show where Will is like, "You don't have to do this, Henry." Right? Isn't it Will or somebody's like, "You don't have to do this. You can like." It is Will. He's like, "You don't have to help us like defeat him or whatever." And Henry's like, "What? No, I've always wanted to do this." Like,
yeah.
He flatly rejects that.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about we're glad because that would have sucked if he didn't. I think that was a good choice. It just it is kind of contradicting what was in the play, which is
he killed 10 children in the Rainbow Room, right? Like he killed his parents, he killed his little sister.
Yes, but that was all after he was being controlled by the Mind Flayer. But it seems like
I don't think he was being controlled by the Mind Flayer.
But that's kind of the point. This show is now saying that he said he chose to join him. He wasn't being controlled. Let me add Scarlet back. But what I'm saying,
who says that? You mean the play says that he had no free will?
No. Vecna said that to Will when Will said, it made you do it. He said, no, I chose to join him, which makes sense. What we're saying is that that's completely contradictory to what the play said, because the play made it that he did not want to do any of these things and he was horrified by these things. So it doesn't make sense that they retconned it, I guess.
Yeah, and really horrified by them.
The part where he kills that guy with a rock before he touches the Mind Flayer particle, it pretty much says a lot about Henry, right?
Yeah. I still kind of feel like it's more about the fact he kept bashing his head in than the fact he killed him. But that's a whole nother.
Yeah. Jamie, I sent you a picture of those books.
How are those separate things? How are those separate things?
The Discord.
No, because see, but who did that? That picture is taken at a different angle, which to me means somebody on set took it or they photoshopped it, is my guess. Or
that's what I saw.
Or somebody made it, because I'll tell you what, they've got books next to that aren't next to it on the shelf. So I think somebody made their own binders.
Yeah.
Actually,
That's what I
yeah,
saw.
I don't know. I think
That's what I
somebody
saw.
made, but I don't know.
I just wanted to show you it because that's what I saw.
No, I
Video.
believe you. I don't know that I believe whoever sent it to you, but I see it.
It's a lie, is what you're saying.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think somebody faked it. That's my opinion. The guy didn't die from his head being bashed. He died after Henry absorbed the rock. I mean, I don't know. He took his eyeballs out.
Really?
Look, my point is that yes, he overkilled him, and I get that, but I do think that there's something to be said for he was scared shitless, and the guy had shot him and was going to kill him. Is it normal he bashed his head in like that? No, but I was just saying I don't know that killing him wouldn't have been, self-defense. The way he did it wasn't.
There's no part of that was self-defense.
I said the way he did it wasn't. But like if he had just like hit him once and killed him, I would have considered it could be self-defense because the guy was attacking him. He was scared. He didn't know what to do. He was a little kid.
The guy shot him. The guy wasn't attacking. The guy shot him.
The guy shot him and was talking crazy and was going to kill him.
How was he going to kill him? He shot him. He missed, and then Henry goes at him with a rock. And excessively violently.
Yes, he definitely excessively violently. He obviously was prone to violence. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying I don't know that he was completely, I feel like the mind flare is what tipped him over into the completely evil side. But the point is the play makes it that he did not want to do any of the things he was forced to do, which is not what happened in the show. So
I mean, okay, so B, yes, I thought he was dead, and then when Henry grabbed the rock, he said don't do it, it'll control you. You don't he was like,
oh, that's true. I forgot about that, and then he smashed it. Yeah, I did forget about that.
And then
and then his eyes disappeared. Yeah, he did take his eyes, but he didn't know how it happened. Nancy has all the nice guns, but Joyce and the boys have the axes and spears.
Oh well, that's a follow up to I wish Joyce had a sharper axe. That was a long
I appreciated though that it was a long decapitation because I've seen that on things where people have said, you can't just swing an axe and decapitate somebody that easy.
Well, it had to take that long time so they could show flashes of all the dead characters.
Yeah, I know. In the law, they would call it temporary insanity. Yes, they might. I don't know. It's neither here nor there. I
was just reading. I don't know, maybe Golden Child, if you're a lawyer, you might know better, but I was just reading related to the Rob Reiner case and his son. I was reading that temporary insanity is the hardest defense ever, and it almost never is successful.
I did not know that. Well, on TV, it's successful.
It's successful 90% of the time on television.
Yes, but that's TV.
So also, 90% of the time, you can knock somebody out with a single blow to the head on television.
That too. All right. So the other thing I was going to put up here, we'll wait for Scarlet. Oh, my nose is so damaged. Wait for Scarlet to get back. I didn't take pictures of all of the.
Oh, the final credits. Those were kind of great.
Yeah, they were cool, but I didn't take pictures of all of them. I took a couple pictures, but I thought that was cute.
So, they hired some of the guys who did the illustrations for the original D&D handbooks back in the 80s to draw some of the stuff.
I did not know that. But we do have to talk about this because this is what everybody is saying proves that none of this happened and that it's all something that potentially Mike wrote, but that it's all a story. Now, the Duffer Brothers have confirmed, I have permanent insanity. Yeah, me too, Doc. The Duffer Brothers have confirmed that does not mean, it was in an interview, that does not mean that it didn't happen, that they wanted it. I forget exactly the reason.
That it was all a game.
Yeah, you'd have to read the actual article because I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly what they said. I sent a link. Actually, I can read it. I sent it to Scarlet right before we started. This is an article on some magazine that I never heard of called Capital FM. I don't know what it is. But they said that was in it. They said they were inspired by the illustrations of the credits of Lord of the Rings with the Throne of the King. That was the initial idea to use these simple illustrations. And we started to talk with blah, 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 the ones that did the main title sequence, and they loved it. And they said they pitched the credits as drawings from Will's notebook. The manuals, which is what you were talking about. And it said they were a way of being able to include past characters in with it. Okay, wait, here it is. Obviously, not to say the whole show was a D&D campaign. It was just a way to pay tribute to everyone and also let the audience hopefully take in this journey that they've been on for 9 years.
That interview that's widely circulated. I read that on a different outlet. They must have given that to
it might have been, yeah, it might have been
of multiple people. Yeah. So for a split, when I saw this for a split second, I thought, oh, this is what Will did. Will went on and like made, Will was the one throughout the whole show that was like it was so important to him to have these moments. And when the kids were like, he's like, we never play D&D anymore. He didn't say exactly that, but Will was really the one who was like, maybe holding on to this sort of childhood a little more and holding on to these guys. And you know what I mean, right? Over the seasons.
Yeah.
And so for an instant, when I saw this, I thought, oh, is this like what Will does later in life? And then I realized it was just the credit sequence. I liked it.
Yeah, I definitely thought that they might be hinting at that and hoped it wasn't the case, especially because they said, well, Will was a storyteller. But who knows? Maybe he made his version story to tell people. It doesn't mean that it was fake. And yes, that would be awful, Leo. I agree. It would be really, really bad. But they've confirmed that's not the case. There's Scarlet. Bring her back in again. She keeps getting disconnected. There you go. You're connected again.
And it was all a dream, and it was all Mike's manual, and that's it, everybody. Everybody can go home now.
That would suck, yeah. That would suck.
Yeah, I read part of that article I was reading to say, that it's not. Also, B added, and I've heard this before too, Sorcerer wasn't in its own class of character in D&D until 2000, so Will would have been a wizard. The whole thing about Will being a sorcerer is anachronistic. And it's sloppy writing. I think it's sloppy writing, but and then
the wizard would have just been as important.
Yeah, I think Sorcerer was a role in Dragonlance 5th Age Saga role before D&D from the same company. They could have mixed it up then. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I made money making people D&D characters. That's about all I know about D&D. Is I know some of them from making characters for people, and that's about it. So, but at least they've confirmed it isn't all a dream. So
I wish they stopped confirming things.
Yeah, I kind of
know, right? Sometimes it's better to let people have their own.
Let your fans do what they want with it. Jeez.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you two, and if anybody in the chat wants to answer, has this left anybody feeling like they want more Stranger Things? To me, I don't, and I see these advertisements for the Stranger Things house is open in Philadelphia. Netflix opened this Stranger Things attraction in Philadelphia. And I see it advertised and I'm like, should I go to that? And I'm like, I don't really know if I need to go to that.
Wait, what is it? It's in Philadelphia. What is it? Say that again.
It's a Stranger Things house. It's a Stranger Things like attraction. No, I'm sorry, that's a lie. It's called the Netflix house, and Stranger Things is a part of it. But it's like the Netflix house. So it's a Netflix attraction that has it's like a Dave and Buster's kind of place, I guess. Maybe.
I think it could be cool though, but that's like 6 hours away. There'd have to be something better than that for me to spend the money to get a hotel and go down there. So.
I mean, it has food and drink. It has like a theater. It has
cool,
of course they sell a shit ton of merchandise there, I think, and they have a bunch of interactive stuff or whatever. It opened in Philly only recently, and so it's not only Stranger Things, but of course Stranger Things is a big part of it.
I mean, I know they made that Halloween Horror Nights for Stranger Things the one year. Yeah, I'll go if someone pays for the whole trip. Same thing, Doc. Yeah, I'll go too. We'll go, guys. We're taking donations for the trip. Okay, we're all gonna.
They do, you guys. They do have a big Wednesday exhibit.
Yeah.
It's like a big, immersive, whatever. And there's a big One Piece is the other. Those are the two anchors.
Yeah. Karen, to answer your question, kind of, but I don't think it's this season of Stranger Things. I think it's the fact we've been doing this show and I feel immersed in the universe now. So I kind of wouldn't mind seeing more Stranger Things, but that's because I've been enjoying it. That being said, I don't think we need any more. I think that it was an ending that it should be done. So I'm saying that in a different way, if that makes sense. I've enjoyed covering it. And so I kind of want to see it, but it doesn't need to be. We don't need it.
Yeah. But I'm not like, I don't feel like, oh, I'm so sad this show was over. I wish it could have gone on longer.
Yeah,
I feel a little bit like this show was a little too long and they maybe should have ended it sooner. And I'm not that excited for a spin-off. I'm like, really? Are you just now milking? Are we talking like Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead? Because that didn't go well.
The thing is, I think this was a cool universe. The problem is I feel like they ruined that universe by making the Upside Down not be the universe. That's
Yeah,
what
I'm gonna give the cartoon a shot because
Oh,
I think that's
what?
what they originally wanted to do.
How much do you need? A lot.
I mean, I think they could have done a Monster of the Week thing. Like, I think that's what they're doing with the cartoon, and that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be cool. I like the universe. I'm disappointed, and I feel like they kind of, like I said, I feel like to me they ruined it by making it not be the universe because I like the Upside Down. I thought it was cool, so that annoys me. But yeah, I don't know. I liked it. I'm having fun. Yeah, that's what I mean, Kimberly. Exactly. Thank you. I'm okay with the ending, but I could still see myself watching it, and I will watch it when it comes out. But it's not necessary. I don't feel like I need to see what happens. But I've enjoyed spending time in the universe. But I think that there was a lot of problems with season 5, and I think that there was a lot of bad writing with season 5.
I think there were problems with season 4 also. 5 more so. I'm kind of like Just Me says I'm glad it's over. Okay, so I'm not glad in the sense that there are shows we cover that I hate watch, and I hate every single episode, and I just watch it because I hate it, and that's not this show. Am I glad? I'm relieved. I'm glad it's over in the sense that I'm relieved. I'm kind of exhausted, and it annoys me that it took 10 years to get to this point. And I've been reading I saw an article recently in the Hollywood Reporter that said that it looks like some of the streamers are swinging back to releasing the new season every year, and that viewers are responding to that. And I mean, I would prefer.
Oh, I would definitely prefer that.
Every 2 years. Do we have to have it come out like 4 years later? Right? I'm frustrated. I can't believe it took 10 years. B says I don't feel like it was too long necessarily, but like Jamie said, they ruined the Upside Down, and I'm glad that it's done.
But this is a special time, though, because we had COVID and we had a writer's strike, 2 writer's strikes.
Yeah, but
if it's a more normal time, you could probably.
I agree, but I also think the networks have used that as an excuse to take forever. I feel like in certain instances, I don't know. My thing is, like I said, I really like the idea of the Upside Down, and I feel like they ruined that. But I wouldn't mind learning more of the Upside Down. Like, I would like to see a show about the Upside Down, like about the Demogorgons and stuff like that. Like, that to me is cool. And that's why I'm so disappointed that they're like, oh, well, this doesn't mean anything. This is just a bridge to something else. It annoyed me. But yeah, do I need it? No. But I still like the Upside Down, but I don't know that
like B thinks it would have been a better show if they'd have been able to come out every year and finish it in the amount of time. It should have taken not double at least. Especially when you have when you have child actors, you need to move fast. I'm watching a 24-year-old playing a 17-year-old and a 14-year-old playing a 7-year-old, and it becomes not believable.
But they recast that person. They could recast someone younger.
They recast an older person. It doesn't make no sense.
There are plenty of precocious young actors who can do that, right?
No,
get an 8-9-year-old.
The next Kristen Dunst.
Well,
quickly, Doc's asking if we're going to come on Monarch season 2. Doc, we covered season 1 on Fandom Access. We will definitely cover it on Fandom Access for sure.
I mean, I would be, if there's not, how much is season 1? That's my question. How many episodes are season 1?
I don't know. Of Monarch? I don't know. Google it.
No, I just wondered because, I mean, I would be up for, if I can catch up for doing something for that. I think that would be a good one to cover separate, but I'd have to catch up first.
AJ and I have watched it. AJ and I are definitely going to watch it and cover it on Fandom Access for sure.
Yeah, we'll definitely
I don't know if we're going to.
No, but we're going to be doing next week. We're going
this season.
We're going to be on Tuesday. Let's see, tomorrow or tonight, I guess technically Monday. We have The Artist, at we have a watch party at 9:30, and then they're live at 11. But Tuesday at 10 we have Fandom Access. We're going to be also covering Runaway, the Harlan Coben show this week,
and we're going to wrap up Pluribus.
And we're going to wrap up Pluribus, yeah. Because I didn't know if we're going to do more with Harlan Coben or not, other than doing it on Fandom Access. I know I had mentioned to Scarlet, but we didn't really. I'm hoping we're going to do a separate show for Wonder Man and Daredevil. At least that was my plan, as long as you guys are open to that. But that's the only thing that I really knew for sure we were doing. But
yeah, and we're not going to cover. Harlan Coben has another show coming out later this month, but it's a true crime show, and we're not going to cover it.
Yeah, I'm not into true crime.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can catch up with 10 episodes. That's an awful lot. It would depend when it starts, I guess. But I can try. I still haven't watched. I've given up on Percy Jackson because at this point I'm not going to have time to watch.
Yeah, on Phantom Access, we're gonna cover Pluribus, Percy Jackson, and Harlan Coben's Runaway. I think we have 3 tomorrow night.
Of Runaway.
Yeah.
That's
dropped. We also pretty soon will be covering. They're not out yet, but in the next couple, if you guys want to get ready, we got the Night Agent and Starfleet Academy coming soon, right? So.
For you guys, anyway.
Those 2 seasons will be coming. So those are on our schedule for Phantom Access also.
Yes, and we have interviews for both coming.
Yeah.
As well. And tomorrow, for anybody, again, today, I'm saying today, tomorrow, it's technically today. I have Lucy Lawless, My Life is Murder interview that'll be going up. Also have interviews for Riot Women coming out, which I recommend. Really good. I was telling Scarlett about it. I think I mean, trying to think what else.
I got a question for Doc and B and anybody else who watches Monarch. I mean, I'm not sure that show. Well, I mean, there's a lot of like timey-wimey-ish kind of stuff, right? That not timey-wimey, but when you look at like the lifespan of certain people, like. Is that show something that people would be interested in a deep dive, not this long, but like a separate review show or just Phantom Access? And is there interest in a watch party for that? I don't know. Got to hear from you guys.
I think they probably Doc, because I think that's Doc's thing, kind of thing.
It's a kaiju show, yeah.
Yeah. But I was going to say also,
pretty good. I mean, AJ and I thought that first season was good.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about the original movies, but you
don't need to. It's a prequel. It's all prequel, so you don't need to.
Very cool. I'll have to.
It's not all prequel. It's not. I shouldn't say it's all prequel, but there's flashbacks of prequel. It's young people discovering that Monarch exists, and so you learn the past of it. You don't need to. I mean, you've heard of Godzilla, right? That's pretty much all you need to know.
Okay. Cool. Yes, I know about Godzilla. Also have interviews that will be posted soon coming up for Hunting Party, which starts again, I think. Tomorrow, Tuesday, I think. I don't know. It's sometime this week. I got to look. Have that coming up. No, it starts the 8th. I'm sorry. I have it written there. The movie Dead Man's Wire, I have as well. So those are some becoming more Spartacus. There's time dilation. All right. Interesting. I mean, I if I can catch up, I'll watch it with you guys. But if you want to cover it separate too, not that you can't without me, but I will try to watch it and catch up if I can.
Jamie, I know you're not going to watch it and catch up. Just join in.
Yeah, but you don't have to watch season 1 to understand it.
I don't know, but I mean, it's not like
I can watch a recap video. I'll watch a recap video.
It's not like Lost or From that you really need to probably know all these details. You could watch a video.
To be fair, I should have done that with Percy Jackson, and I didn't. And if I had, I would have been watching it with you guys. So that's probably
yeah. I mean, it ties in with movies, but I don't think that there was so much.
And Karen froze.
I was wondering when Murderbot season 2 was.
Some of these movies, like it's not that hard.
Yeah. Doc says you're frozen. Karen, you came back. You were frozen. I'd recommend seeing a recap of season 1, but it's not that complex. That's fine. I'll do that then. That's probably what I'll do. Is I'll just do that. And I'll try to see if I can catch up that way. As to answer you, Scarlet, I haven't heard anything about it. Let me look it up.
Oh, by the way, hi to just me. You said hi to me, and I didn't say hi, so I'm saying hi now.
All right, yeah, hi to everybody.
Hi to everybody.
And now I'm like,
Hey,
why did I not
hey,
really
Doc.
focus on Clark Gray was in it? But that's a whole other issue. That's my issue. It says no sooner than late 2026. So that's
Okay.
not really helpful. It's going to be a while.
Yeah.
Another one is going to be forever.
All right.
But yeah, I think, like I said, I think one of the next shows, like I said, is Wonder Man that's coming. I was planning that we'd be covering.
Never heard of it.
Sorry, what?
I've never heard of it.
It's a Marvel show. It's a new Marvel series.
All right.
I was hoping we'd be doing a separate thing. Well, maybe me and AJ will do it. I don't know. I want to start doing some Marvel stuff. And then Daredevil, which I told somebody, I forget who it was. Might have been Jenna, I can't remember. That we'll do a watch party for Daredevil if you guys want to. But yeah.
All right.
So it's coming. Yep. And yeah. Yeah, you good.
Yep.
Anything else? I wanted to do some trivia for this, like with some of season 5 specific stuff. I was going to write some stuff, but I just didn't have time. So unless people specifically really want to do a separate show for trivia, I don't know if it's worth it or not. But we have gotten quite a big audience on our Stranger Things show, so it might be worth it. We'll have to see. But if you guys want to listen. Oh, and that reminds me about the movie. I forgot to say it for Running Man. B, you are the winner.
Ooh.
Sorry, so hi, girl.
Where are my goats? Karen loves the goats.
Yes, yeah, the goats.
Play the goat for
So
that.
I'll get you the code. I do have to write it on the comment of the video too, so everybody else knows. But yeah, I randomly picked one of the people to comment. I will send you the code for that. And I need to review that. And I need to review the new Silent Hill, neither of which I have watched yet. So I need to get my button gear with that as well. I am behind.
All right. So to wrap these up, no news on Revival. It's not renewed yet. Yeah, Golden Child, Percy Jackson is based on young adult novels, right? So it's not like How to Train a Dragon is. Yeah, it's a young person. We're not the key audience. If we cover a Monarch, we may have nerds coming in with expansion canon. That's all right.
Yeah. Good night, Doc. Yes, congratulations.
The screen doesn't work anymore. It just stops.
It's over. It's so
it's overdone. It's done. It's like
it's worn out. It's worn out its larynx.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But yeah, we'll put up.
She's like Rock and Rob. You're like Steve with those noise effects from Squawk.
Yes, B. She's making random noises again. Of course she is. I'm just teasing. All right.
Nice job, everyone.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that about does it. But we will see some of you tomorrow for the artist.
That closes the cover on this one.
Yeah, we're closing the cover on this one. You're right. But we'll see you guys tomorrow for the artist watch party at 9:30 Eastern in Discord. Live stream at 11. It's episode 5, I believe. So we got, I'm still seeing they're saying an episode 7, but I don't think there is one. I only know about it because I'm trying to cover Golden Child, and I got a screener I need to watch. But yeah, that's for the new Silent Hill. But yeah, we'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow for the artist. If not, we'll see you for Phantom Access, and hope you're having a good year so far. And yeah, have a good night, everybody.
Bye all. Happy New Year.
Bye.
Happy St. Distaff Day if you're following the 12 days of Christmas. As I am.
St. Distaff Day.
Happy Epiphany Eve tomorrow.
Oh yeah, tomorrow's Epiphany.